Turner Yell makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30.
Welcome to the Fins tailgate. It's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. We live that aqua and orange from the field to the mic. Breaking down the plays, man, we talk it every night. From Tua to the defense, you know we keep it tight. NFL moves, you know we got the insight. We open up the floor, yeah, it's your time to shine. Fans drop the heat with opinions realigned. You got concerns, bring them, we're gonna chime. The Fins tailgates, where we keep it prime. Welcome to the Fins tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. The NFL's changing, but we stay on the grind. Latest breaking stories, we don't waste no time. From the trades to the rumors, we make them all align. At the Fins tailgate, we always on the climb. We're repping the Dolphins, but it's NFL wide. From South Beach to the league, we keep it worldwide. Got the fans engaged with the energy supplied. Come kick it at the tailgate, we're riding high tide. Welcome to the Fins tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. So if you love the game, you know we got the gate. Tune in, speak out, don't wait, it's your fate. This is the Fins tailgate, now watch us dominate. Miami Dolphins, NFL, yeah, we integrate.
Good flipping afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a Monday, cool Monday morning here in South Florida, and we have just got the word about an hour ago. The Miami Dolphins have agreed to mutually part ways with general manager Chris Grier. Yes, it is true. Widely reported, widely confirmed. Chris Grier is no longer the GM for the Miami Dolphins, and that opens up a ton of questions going forward. We got Cap on the road. He left me for a minute, but he'll be back. He's on the road, heading back home. He's going to give you the rundown on everything. We got Ali in the back. He's definitely got a lot to say about this. We've been wondering what's going to happen, what shoe's going to drop first. The official statement from the chairman of the board and managing general partner Stephen M. Ross. This morning, I made the decision along with general manager Chris Grier to mutually part ways. I have incredible respect for Chris and his family, and I want to thank them for his many contributions to the Miami Dolphins over the past 26 years. As I assess the state of the team and in my discussions with Chris, it became clear to both of us that change could not wait. We must improve in 2025, 2026, and beyond. And it needs to start right now. Champ Kelly will serve as interim general manager effective immediately, and we will begin our search process for a new general manager. I want to thank Champ for stepping up and his commitment to the Dolphins' success this season. There is a lot of football left to play, and we all need to fight even harder. I have always been and remain committed to building a winning team that consistently competes for championships. I am incredibly proud of our leadership as an NFL organization and our continued commitment to the community. But our performance on the field and our team building process have not been good enough. There are no excuses. I want to thank the fans for their continued support and passion for this team. You deserve a championship caliber team you can be proud of. There's much work ahead to return the Dolphins to sustained success, and that work begins now. Finishing the season strong, evaluating all areas of our football operation, and moving forward with a clear vision for the future.
Hit the like button, everybody. We're getting it fixed, according to the owner. Like he's always been, he concerned with winning championships in football. Had me fucking fooled. but apparently that's what he's been doing this whole time.
And that brings us to the first order of business. According to Adam Schefter, reported by Dove Kleiman, Mike McDaniel will remain the Dolphins head coach for, quote, at least the remainder of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and give you my opinion. Mike McDaniel has the coldest seat in the NFL.
You've been saying it all year, Color.
And my prediction is that we are about to hire a yes man for Mike McDaniel. That's my take.
Well, they've got one already in the building. Champ Kelly's been promoted. It'll be his job to lose. I mean, who's gonna take the job next, right? Like,
Look, I'm sorry, but we already had a yes man. His name was Christopher Grier. He was the yes guy. And the reality for me is I kind of feel like this firing is just a scapegoat. Like,
that's it. It's not even a scapegoat, Ali.
Somebody just
Chris
to blame,
Grier.
to really blame the truth, right? So you can't blame the truth. The reality for it is this. Chris Grier was really just a fraction of the issues here at the Miami Dolphins. The issues lie not just in the front office, it also is in the coaching staff. And ultimately, and this is what it makes the biggest difference, because it's the one thing that actually is perceived across the board by the fans, by the media, by globally, is who the leader on your team is, which is supposed to be the quarterback. That is the biggest issue. You fix that quarterback issue, maybe it makes Chris Grier's job that much easier. Maybe it makes McDaniel's job that much easier, right? But no, we tried to take a star and put it down a freaking circle over and over and over again, right? And if you take that statement that Color, you did a great job narrating it. I really appreciate you reading off to everybody what was said. If you read that and go look at the statement that was provided at the end of last year, it's the same statement, just regurgitated in different words.
Ross has been very consistent. You're right about that, Ali.
He is very consistent. And for me, it's this. People are wondering, well, why was Chris Grier fired before McDaniel? Well, a couple different reasons. One, I could tell you that there's probably guys that they want to start interviewing right away for that position that are getting second interviews by other teams. That got reported today as well. So there's that. Number two, so what? You have Mike McDaniel that he's the ultimate yes guy. He's going to do whatever the collective wants. Why are you going to get rid of him mid-season when you can get him to do whatever you want all the way up until the end of the season, and then have the new GM, whoever that may be part of the decision process of who you want as the new head coach? So that already tells you why McDaniel's technically, as Color puts it, on ice for right now.
Here's the thing, Ali. I'll just push back before we introduce John Joe and Papa Paul from the West Coast crew.
Mm-hmm.
Glad you joined us, gentlemen.
Thanks, boys.
The only push I would say on that, Ali, is that the fact that they made it clear that that they used the verbiage at least
the
remainder of the season. This tells me that Mike McDaniel is still being evaluated.
Yeah, that is definitely 100% true. And then the third and final person that really, and I agree with Stephen A. Smith. If you guys watched what he had to say, he goes, if this guy got to go, so does McDaniel. I kind of agree with that, but I'm going to tell you.
Real quick, Ali, it's something that I mentioned to you. As a matter of fact, I'm getting deja vu because I think it was very similar setting that you and I were discussing this about a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it became clear that that McDaniel, he's going to show. Ross wants to see what McDaniel can bring to the table apart from the collective and everything that we brought him here for, because that will help Ross determine what type of GM he's going to hire. If he plans to keep Mike McDaniel because he likes him and he wants him to be this Don Shula, Bill Belichick type figure for the long-term future, then and he makes that decision. Let's say McDaniel gets things really tight this year. We're still losing, but everything looks respectable and whatever else. And he decides he wants to keep McDaniel. Well, that's going to change the type of GM he needs to look for, because then he's going to need to look for a GM that will be a yes man for McDaniel. Whereas if he decides at the end of this season, no, I got to cut ties with McDaniel too, he's not going to be it, then he can hire a GM that's going to clean house and start anew with a new coach and everything. But if he plans on keeping the coach, then you have to hire a specific type of GM for that type of coach.
Real quick, I think you guys are reading into it too much. I want to throw it to Johnny O. But look, what happened here is Chris Grier fell on the sword for the Dolphins. That's it. That's all this is. It was mutually agreed upon. It's not like they said we're holding this guy accountable. They had a discussion. The collective got together, said the Wolves are at the gate. We got to do something. What can we do? And Chris Grier goes, I'll take it, because they're not done with Mike
go up
McDaniel.
against the wall. That's what he said. I'll go up against the wall.
I'll go against the wall because the collective is not done with Mike McDaniel. Really, the firing of Chris Grier is a further endorsement of Mike McDaniel. And look no further to their further endorsement of him. Thank you. Go ahead, Johnny.
What's up, gents? How are you? Traveled home from Florida this morning. Thought it was Halloween. Turned out to almost be Christmas. It's a good start. Yeah, it's a good start, but I don't think it's done. I think McDaniel's done at the end of the year. They're going to do their GM search. Then I don't believe he's going to go with a yes man. I think he's going to get somebody he wants, and at the end of the season, McDaniel will be gone. At least that's what I'm hoping. 26 years in the organization. Yeah, he fell on the sword on this one, saying, things haven't gone the way we thought they were going to, which I don't know how, because I looked at this damn roster all the way through the late winter, spring, said 5 or 6 wins. We're at 2. Anybody could see we didn't have the players that we needed, the caliber of players we needed. We didn't have the offensive line. We didn't have the secondary. Everybody was touting the defensive line, but the problem is there's just not enough talent there, and the linebackers have to fall back in coverage all the time. Yesterday's display was absolutely horrific. We talked about it on our show Wednesday, saying, if they played a game similar to what they played in Atlanta, they had a chance. They didn't even come close to playing that. Too many dumb penalties, turnovers. I know a lot of people don't like talking about it. Phantom call by the referee on tripping on Ollie. Even the announcer on TV, when I went back and watched it, said he didn't trip. He slipped. He fell. He wasn't trying to trip the guy. He wasn't diving in front of him. He slipped.
But the fact that the coach got that emotional on the sideline after that just tells you how dysfunctional this team is across the board.
Well, he was emotional because he got called for a penalty that didn't actually happen, and his coach is yelling at him.
No, I'm talking about the coach. I wasn't talking about Ollie. Ollie was justified, not the coach.
Well, no, the problem is the coach just went by what the call was. He didn't get to see a replay of it and say, hey, you're right. I would guarantee in that building this morning, that coach is coming to him saying, dude, I apologize. What you said was true. You didn't try to trip him. You slipped. You went down, barely touched his foot. I mean, but as far as Grier goes, this is one of those things where we've all been asking for it, but we've been asking for a lot more. It's a start. I don't believe McDaniel will be here next year. I really don't. I don't care how much Ross wants him, unless he goes out and just finds a GM that's, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. I'll do whatever Mike wants. Mike doesn't deserve control of this team. There's nothing from first half to second half yesterday where you saw adjustments. As a matter of fact, if you look at it, they played worse in the second half than they did in the first half. In the first half, at least stat-wise, we outgained them, had the ball longer. It's the turnovers and penalties that killed us.
We were in the game in the first half.
Yeah, in the second half, no adjustments on our part, and we just let them pull away. Couldn't cover a tight end to save our damn lives. I mean, come on. Baltimore's defense has not played well. We made them look like Super Bowl contenders yesterday. It's a start. Well, I'm the wait and see guy, and I believe we wait and see the end of the season. McDaniel will be gone, and it's just they're doing it again. Press the button, start all over.
It
Yeah,
just
but
seems
start
be
over to what though, Johnny O? And that's my question, right? Like people have been calling for Chris Greer's job, but Chris Greer's just a cog in the machine that is fucking Stephen Ross and the Dolphins. The next figurehead that comes in is not gonna be any different. He'll just be another guy at the seat with the big round table where everyone's going, okay, what's the best business decisions? Again, this is why I get back to the quarterback, and everyone's like, it's not just Tua, it's not. I know it's not just Tua, but Tua, because of his super stardom, right? His superstardom, his fanfare, the fact that every Polynesian person in the world will automatically side with him, and rightfully so. God bless him. But also the left-handed quarterback, the Alabama, the halftime. He had all this fanfare and all this superstardom that pushed it in. That there was a lot of money to be made there, whether the kid was good or not. And that's where they make their business decisions. That's why when I talk about us changing quarterback and I get into arguments with people about what we need at quarterback, they want to start getting into semantics about this and that. No. What we need, at least currently right now, if Mike McDaniel stays the head coach, we need a guy with a big arm and can move in the pocket and has some legs to run. And hopefully that doesn't equate to him being completely brain dead like Anthony Richardson, but more along the lines of somebody who, yeah, he's not a cerebral smart guy. I don't need him to be cerebral smart because there's nothing to deal with when it comes with fucking reflexes and what they can do. And beyond that, that's the only thing you can coach up on somebody from college to the next level is teaching them operations, systems, offenses, reading defense. That's what you can teach them. You can't teach these guys how to throw. You can kind of tighten their mechanics, but that takes so long. Really, we need more of a raw talent than anything else and start our baseline from there. Enough of this other bullshit, man. It's just enough, dude.
There's a question that keeps sticking with me, Cap, and it has to do with the order of things. And I'm just wondering because I think Ali pointed out that, the move kind of got sped up, in your opinion, because there's some guys that are already getting second interviews, right?
Yeah.
And that makes sense to me, right?
They got names in a hat.
Right. What doesn't make sense to me is when you put it in the order we have, where you're firing the GM in the middle of the season and you're quasi endorsing the coach by saying,
yep,
he may not even be fired after the season, because that's what at least means. In other words, we're at least going to give him the rest of this year and possibly more. That's what at least means
Color to your point.
Well, real quick, the question I have though, Cap, is what type of quality GM, what type of person other than a yes man for McDaniel? Now, remember, I said yes man. I wasn't meaning yes man for Ross. I'm talking about a yes man for the head coach, right? What kind of GM besides a yes man for McDaniel are we looking to get if we're already interviewing a GM now where the status of the head coach is still ambiguous?
And for the layman term out there, I'll help you guys out. That what Color's asking here is how many fucking GMs are signing up when they know if they're taking the Dolphins job, it comes with Mike McDaniel already.
Right. Or at least the collective's decision on whether it's going to be Mike McDaniel or not.
And again, Color, that's why I've always said when people say fire Chris Grier, fire Mike McDaniel, I say the devil I know. Because I know Chris Grier could at least evaluate talent to some degree that's better than what I've seen around here, Jeff Fireland and others. But I also know that Mike McDaniel.
You know what, Cap? You fire the commie, bro. Whoever decided that a collective is the way to run.
That's the owner, Color. It's the owner.
That's the owner.
It's the owner, and we're never gonna fucking get rid of him.
Yeah, we're
Color.
not getting rid of him.
We're not getting rid of him, and that's what pisses me off. That's ultimately what I want to happen, but it's not. Even when he's gone, his daughters are taking over. The
Until
son-in-law is going to run it, and the other
Until
daughter's going to
it's
run it, and we're going to be the exact
officially-
same
We got
fucking
the
shit.
F1 family running the organization.
Fucking bullshit. Hit the
Okay.
like button, everybody.
Collectives don't work.
Impromptu daytime
why
show.
collectives
We need
don't
the
work.
likes hit.
I'm not trying to make this political, but this is why
Color,
collectives
I
don't
need you to
work,
go
because
into the
if you-
YouTube studio.
If you've got 5 leaders, you don't have one.
Yeah, they don't work. They don't
Color,
work.
I need you to do the YouTube studio and hit the thing and put subscribers on.
Right on.
Sure, I got you.
Think about the money aspect of it.
It's not through
Russ-
StreamYard, it's through YouTube. Go ahead.
Russ is a
Johnny.
money man.
Oh,
He
okay.
doesn't want to get rid of a coach. He just signed to a new contract. That's dead money. He's got to pay the guy regardless.
Again, Ross has never been scared about paying people dead cap money or even coaches off the leave. In fact, every time the coach's seat is extra hot, a la Joe Philbin,
So you think
he
if they're
fucking pays them money and then fires them the next year. What I perceive to be as hush money. And he's done that routinely. Go ahead, Tom.
So you think if they're looking for a GM that they're going to say, you know, you better be okay with the current QB and the
Well,
current
it's lip service, Tom. It's lip service
It's
because
like,
what
what's the
they'll come
point of
out and
hiring a
say.
GM if he can't
What they'll
make
come
those
out and say,
decisions?
Tonk, is this. This is what they'll say verbatim. And bookmark it, motherfuckers. Because I know y'all might know football and you might know this, but I know football in this organization better than anybody. I don't give a fuck what anyone says, how they think they do. I don't predict what I want to happen or what should happen. I predict on what the Dolphins are going to happen, and I'm always fucking right because I know this fucking organization and team. And what they're going to say is that, oh, so what's up with Mike McDaniel? Well, we're gonna continue our thorough GM search, and once we figure out what GM we have, we're gonna allow
While we're
him.
still evaluating
We're
the head coach.
We're gonna allow.
Wait a
We're
minute,
gonna allow
Cap, wait a
him
minute.
to evaluate the head coach position, and
Right.
it'll be
Instead of
his decision.
letting you evaluate the head coach, we're gonna do it for you, and you have to be okay with that. So, Tom,
Well,
that's the
but
only,
that's not it
real
either,
quick,
Color.
real
But
quick.
what the lip service, Color, is they'll say that that's going to be up to the new GM. But the reality will
They'll
be
tell
is
us
that all
that.
the GMs will be hired and fired, and everyone will be down to nothing. There'll be no.
Wait a minute. They'll tell us
available,
that,
and we'll
Cap.
take whatever GM can take the job.
Cap, Ross will tell us that, but he'll be making a wink, nod,
Oh, yeah,
deal
what's really
with that
happening?
GM. And to what I was saying, to clear up what I meant, Tonk, was that they're when it comes to the GM and whether he would work with McDaniel, I'm not saying that they're going to hamstring him with McDaniel per se, but what they're going to say is we're still evaluating McDaniel, so that the GM's not going to know what their position is on whether
Yeah,
he'll get the decision or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're still.
Yep.
They're still.
Right.
And the
checking out
GM
data.
and the GM that comes in there and says I've got 700 hours of tape on Mike McDaniel and why he's good for the job will be the GM that gets the fucking job. And that GM's
Exactly.
already in the building as the fucking guy right now because it's Champ Bailey. This fucking Dolphins collective doesn't want to find the right guy making the right decisions. They want to find the guy that's saying the things they want to fucking hear.
They
And
want
that's
to
what
hear.
they continue to do.
Yeah.
And the last guy that did know football and said shit they didn't know, his name was Brian Flores. And another one was fucking Nick Fangio. So any football knowers
hit that
that
like
stand
button.
up for football reasons and push back on business, they run them motherfuckers up out of here. And the fans with the media and the local media and these fucking dumbass YouTube channels that don't know shit about Shinola, all these dumb fucks will clap and applaud the man they make the boogeyman and run him up out of here when he ain't never been the problem.
No, just one more
Hit the
thing
like
to add to
button.
the dysfunctional list of our franchise.
You have the list?
There's a huge dysfunctional list in this franchise. Jesus.
What do you
Hell
mean
yeah.
list? Like people?
Yeah, like continually over the years hiring a first-time head coach. We never get anybody with experience because all they want guys to come in that are going to say, yes, Mr. Rush, yes, Mr. Grier. You're not getting a coach.
Well, that too.
That's why
They
it's
like
not
the new hot.
working.
They
That's
like the
why
new
it's
hot
not
name.
working.
I like the new hot name and what they can sell to the fan base too. Don't forget, people forget, but Adam Gase was the hot name when it was like everything that fucking Peyton Manning did in his career was nothing until he met Adam Gase. And that's what they bought and sold. The only dumber franchise I've ever seen in the NFL is the Jets because they bought and sold old goods, spoiled goods.
If you guys actually pay attention, or the fan base, I should say, not you guys, but like the fan base itself, this team, this organization, top to bottom, their sole purpose is to capitalize off of excitement, not results. Results don't matter. What matters is the excitement.
They're a hype factory.
The possibility.
They're a hype factory. That's all they do.
That's how they make their bread and butter off of that.
That's it.
Oh,
and that's why again, all of my decisions and projections and things I say we need to do are operating within what I know is my Miami Dolphins under Ross and how they're going to operate. And what we need to hope for is I don't care who the coach is, I don't care who the GM is, we need to hope that they're lucky enough that the hype is just enough to take a quarterback that actually gives a fuck about winning football games and has the tools to do so. If we get lucky enough to do that, they'll then take the hype machine and push that guy forward, and we might actually have something. But until then, until they prioritize arm strength, prioritize mobility, and get fucking lucky, we will continue to do and be on the Stephen Ross Miami Dolphins playbook. A 7-year cycle that has a mid-year cash out point, and Stephen Ross double stacks his money. Right now, Stephen Ross has put $1.5 billion into this team. He has made a 400% profit return in less than 20 years. I promise you this, there is nobody in the NFL that has that kind of investment with those kind of returns in that short of time.
Ever. It's never
not winning one playoff game, not one playoff win,
or Super Bowl or
all
anything.
these other owners are out there fucking groveling at the feet of him, wondering how the fuck you did it.
One last thing I want to just mention this real quick. When you look at last night, if you remember the week prior to the game, we were starting to hear rumblings that the Miami Dolphins want to wait and see approach before they make changes. They're kind of being cautious, and it was the word optimism was there, right? Remember that? Well, I think last night and what happened actually at the stadium, and Papa Paul and Johnny O can speak to this. I think that embarrassed Ross, and that's why this change happened today out of nowhere. Because if you were at the stadium, it started first the massive amount of Ravens fans in the stadium. And I know Color says it's because there's a huge following. I get that. But there was a lack of Dolphin fans. A huge lack. I've never seen Raven fans show up in those numbers. And then on top of it, during the national anthem, when the person was singing, they all yelled out in unison, "Oh!" And then the entire game, all the crowd noise was being generated by the Raven fans. They were marching.
Exactly.
We lose Ali.
Yeah, we heard you loud and clear, Ali. Listen, that is exactly 100% correct. And Chris, I know you just talked about
Corey,
about
quick.
what this.
Wait, Corey, just real quick. And this,
I'll
end it right here, and I'll let you interject. Right? They might as well have taken a massive Ravens flag and stamped it in the middle of the fucking field and took over our stadium, and just might as well call them daddy, because that's what they did last night. Go ahead, Corey.
No, I actually agree with you 100% here, Ali. And in fact, that's why I wanted to respond to Chris. And Ali, you cut out. That's the only reason why I started talking, is because you cut out for a little while. I wasn't trying to talk over you.
Oh,
right?
I'm sorry. I apologize. What was the last thing you heard that I said prior to that?
I think you landed your point. I don't think it wasn't that long.
All I'm saying is that Ross got embarrassed really bad last night. That's all I'm saying.
I agree, and I think that speaks to what Chris was talking about. because Chris, I think, accurately described what this franchise had been in this Tua era, right? It was a big money grab, right? Which made it hard to make the correct football decisions. But I would suggest that that is what had been. But we have a chance now with a new GM coming in eventually. So, and I think the onus is going to be on repairing the situation that Ali has described, the situation has devolved into. I think hopefully Ross has learned, and me and Color were discussing this on the chat earlier. I hope that this franchise has finally learned what I think it was already beginning to learn in 2019, but they somehow reverted back to regular old exploitative form when they fired Flores and decided to do what they did, right? But that you have to make sound football decisions, and the product has to be winning football, or at least competitive football, long term. This is the lesson that's been learned here by the firing of Grier, who earned every single bit of this firing. So, you know.
I would
I mean,
also
I'm not
like
going to
to
say.
add, real quick. I'd like to add something real quick that we may have all or forgot or looked over. Ross said explicitly after the loss against the Browns that it was going to take the fans turning their back on the whole thing. It was going to take the fans not showing up. It was going to take what? Embarrassment. For
That's
changes.
what was
There you
achieved.
go. Well,
That was
it
achieved on
happened
prime time for
national fucking
TV.
television.
Exactly, Tom.
Yeah,
Listen,
well,
I was sitting in that
That
stadium.
was fucking world television.
I was in that stadium
I'll
last
agree.
night, and it was probably 55% Ravens fans, which is absolutely disgusting.
So Johnny O, based on what you witnessed last night, do you think that would qualify or would that constitute what Ross was a scenario that Ross was suggesting?
Oh, absolutely. It was
Yeah,
embarrassing.
exactly.
I mean,
think
I'm
did
Papa
that.
Paul,
You know
Ali,
what?
myself. We were in that stadium.
Well, hold on. I got to make a point here because I said this already. I said we should boycott the team. We shouldn't go to games. And then y'all, but then what would happen is it would be all just the opponents' fans there. Okay, so be it. But look what happened now because of it.
Guys, listen.
Being made.
I'm just telling y'all right now.
If we all just don't show up, and it shows that we fucking hate this team or what the organization that's running it, that he is gonna. And I didn't know Ross said something like that.
Listen, of course Ross said it because he's saying it to win good graces with the fans. This is the cycle. This is par for the fucking course, people. Don't you understand? This is what real estate moguls do. They build up, they break down, they buy low, they sell high. This is par for the course.
You're the one that got last night, bro. Hey,
no, because I was just playing along. I was playing along because I thought for sure that we would fade the public on the bets. But again,
but it shows,
this is par for the course. No, it doesn't.
No, we don't.
It shows we got an owner that's a piece of shit.
Yeah, but it shows that if we boycott, it makes us. It shows.
Again, I told everybody the way you really get over to them is public humiliation.
Yes,
I get it. No. Some boo birds in the stadium and him firing his GM ain't it. Dolphins fans need to buy out the stadium, sell it out, and don't fucking go in. Don't go in and stand outside and mutinize. Because we got to run this fucking Yankee fuck up out of here, boys. He got to go. I know what time this billionaire in. He don't give a shit about nothing. And you know what he's doing? He's reselling that I'm a good owner and I love this team and I want to win because that's why I'm doing shit.
Berging out the Southern boy in him, man.
Yeah, exactly. I feel
right.
you, Chris, but now you're putting this in Civil War terms, and I can't stand with the Confederacy, bro.
Ass up out of here.
Well, then I'll have to get out of town too.
Yeah, but this isn't.
That's what I'm saying, Corey. It's like, look,
yeah, I ain't standing with no rebels, man. I ain't standing with no rebels. Hell no.
Yeah, but
no.
But I feel you.
We're the tailgate army now.
Hold
We're the tailgate army.
Hold on a second.
What I'm saying, Corey, this organization's so bad they done brung out the Southern boy and cat, man. We can't have that.
you're not going to rebel against this cabal right now. You're not going to rebel against this collective. You're not going to rebel against the bullshit that we saw on the TV.
Yes, but not in the name of the Confederacy, bro.
Okay, but
that's
that's
all
not
I'm
what he's
saying.
saying, though. That's not what he's saying,
The
though.
South ain't rising again. I'm saying
not
this
what he's
Yankee
saying, though.
billionaire fuck got to get up out of here.
El Cap, real quick, because I had walked away. I want to know what in it real quickly. What was the response to Villain's thing? Because I have a response to this.
I can't. I didn't read it. Please go ahead, Keller.
and
Shout out
read
to
that.
Villain.
I'll go ahead and read it.
Yeah,
I
let
want
me
to
go ahead and read that. Thanks, Villain, for the $5 donate. He says, I guess firing Grier also debunks the theory of Grier having some sort of dirt on Ross.
Oh, thank you.
Point,
Thank you. Been saying it for weeks now. Everyone's like, "Oh, Grier knows where the bodies are buried." That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna call bullshit on that real quick.
Agreed.
I'm gonna call bullshit.
I'll keep this
Good point,
dirt.
Tunk. Good point,
keep
Tunk. I
this
think
dirt.
that's what Ali's about to say too, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit on this because first of all, El Cap, you're the one that started this 2 years ago. That Grier knew where the body's buried. You started that, so I don't want to hear it. No,
That's cap.
That's a fact. These are recorded videos that you can go back and
go fucking pull it up the clip because that's cap.
I will clip it. But here is what my point is. Why this is wrong. Like what Tonk was saying, that they mutually agreed. Here's the reality. We already know that Grier was a yes man for Ross. Yes, we always said that. He was a yes man for Ross. Well, he took the deal. Hey, man, I need to basically let you go. We're still going to pay you or whatever. He doesn't have to have an NFL contract with him, but he can make some other contract. And he went along with the deal. That doesn't mean that Grier doesn't have dirt on Ross. It just means that he's part of the team. So obviously it's team first, baby.
There is no dirt that is not on Ross. That's not also on Grier. Fuck out of here.
To summarize that, they made it look like not a firing.
Yes, exactly. Which is what we said would happen. That's what we said would happen all along.
I'm sure if you went there next weekend and or the next Dolphins game or whatever, Chris Grier's still walking the fucking hall. He just ain't the GM no more. He ain't going nowhere.
He doesn't even look like he works for the team. He has a hat on that says N on it. It's like, what fucking team is that? You fucking
it's NFTs. It's for NFTs.
It's just like he doesn't even look like he works for the team. He's got a suit on, but no tie and a fucking hat on. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, you're not even a football guy and you're dressed like that. You're a marketing guy dressed like that.
They're all marketing guys.
I've been saying for years.
Like who are we gonna get next? Who the fuck are we gonna get next?
But
I've been saying for years that Russ is a horrible owner. He doesn't care about anything but building his portfolio.
Cap for GM.
Russ only cares about building his portfolio. He doesn't care about the team. He says he does. All he's interested is making his money. I say it all the time. The fan experience at the Hard Rock is nothing compared to what it is everywhere else. I was at the Atlanta game. Every single person that walked into that stadium in Atlanta got a T-shirt and a flag at their seat. A flag at every single seat that said "Rise Up," Atlanta Falcons, all this stuff.
Hey, I'd like to get in here. Look, you are not wrong. You are not wrong at all.
But everybody likes something that's tiny and pretty.
Yeah, you are not wrong. Yeah, I was going to say, you're not wrong. This team is run like a South Beach hotel. It's there to fully exploit the consumer 110% of the time. But I will say this, because you guys have issued some radical potential moves that could be made to give. I mean, the stuff you were talking about, Chris, and I think it was you, Ali, about everybody buying the tickets and then not going in. That shit would work. That shit would work, but it probably will never happen because suckers are born every day, and there'll be enough. That's the thing about the Miami fan base that all these exploiters in South Florida constantly count on. The new wave who's coming in, who thinks that they're rich and famous and got big titties and big ass and shit. This is
living on credit cards, KP.
This is who this organization markets itself to, not the hardcore football fan, not the hardcore long time Miami resident. It is not that franchise. As long as we agree on that, we're cool.
We are.
It's never going to win.
KP, do you know who they're marketing it to, and who
Okay.
makes up the fucking entirety of the fan base? A bunch of upper middle class posers that don't know fuck about football, ain't been fucking athletic in anything in their whole fucking life, don't know team sports, and are cucks. That's what this fan base is.
Look. I know what you were talking about in regards to buying tickets but not going in. First of all, the tickets have already been sold. What really forced Ross to actually make the change is that the tickets are being resold to non-Dolphin fans. And when you have non-Dolphin fans filling your stadium more and more and more, and how it looked last night, you can't sell that. There's no marketing for that.
Exactly. So you're going to walk in and get a t-shirt.
Ross last night to make a move finally.
But back to talking about like the experience at the stadium, that anybody can achieve that. Any good marketing team can achieve that. You don't need a GM to do that. You need the GM to make the product on the field better. You don't hire GMs to you hire other people for personnel experience.
No. I'm not saying GM. I'm just saying
I don't think anyone's
experience.
saying GM. We're talking about how the owner's ripping us off, Tonk. How everybody that goes, even their shitty teams are giving away. No,
That's
Tonk.
exactly what
It used to be. You used to go to the Dolphins game and you would get a bag full of a sheet of cards with all the fucking players on it. You would get a fucking towel, a shirt. They gave out fucking cool ass masks that I still got. Right? They used to do shit. Everything. It's now a ripoff. It's like going to Disneyland. He has turned it into a Disneyland product. The second you step foot in the vicinity of the property, you are hemorrhaging money every moment. From fucking water, $9 fucking waters to fucking, soon. I wouldn't be surprised if the son of a bitch put quarter slots in the fucking shitter stalls that you could go. You need to use this pitcher? Well, you better fucking drop me a couple of quarters, because that's what it is. All this guy has ever done
waters
has been a asset leverage guy.
We got $9 waters at 6-point games.
Some
games we got negative. We got $9 waters and negative 10 yards, baby. That's how we're fucking doing it.
Atlanta had $2 hot dogs, $2 sodas, and $3 fries.
Hey, Mr. Polk wants to get in. Mr. Polk,
what's up, Mr. Polk? Go ahead, Mr. Polk.
What's up, Mr. Polk?
I'll give you another example. What's up, John? Yo, Ali, Color, everybody. This is another good example. When the Miami Dolphins used to play in the Orange Bowl, when you came to the Orange Bowl, you would receive actually receive something like a gift bag, and it would have all kind of different Dolphin memorabilia, in it and what have you. When we went to the stadium, what have you, and certain people took over it, it all changed. It all changed. It's not about the fans no more. It's all about business and what have you. And it's sad to see it go that way. Because like I said, I've been around just a little bit before the Dolphins were around, so I got the chance to see how the Dolphins change in stages and what have you. So where we at now is sad because
it's a clown show.
Because Ross is selling nothing but Wolves tickets and what have you. And really, what we're doing, to me, is called recycling. What we're doing is recycling when we should be blowing the whole thing up and starting over from scratch.
But see, you don't blow up a financial asset. You build it up, sell it or portions of it, and then let it fail because it was all fake. The build up. You slap new paint and cheap products on top of this building, and you sell it for a profit. You make your profit. It falls apart. You do it again. Now, you don't. What real estate guys like Ross do is they don't go in and demo the building and build something new. They don't do that. They continue the real estate asset, and they keep slapping lipstick on this pig and selling it as fucking Queen Beauty. And then the asset of owning a football team has its own financial rise. So all he has to do is inflate the numbers profit and then let it fail because that's what he's chosen. That's his business model. He has sold percentages of this team. He dilutes the assets afterwards and cashes the fuck in. That's what he's done. And all he's done is said, listen, I got a big fish on the line, investors. You all need to get in. Look at my numbers. When he goes to the bank and wants to buy a fucking hotel in Colorado, all you got to do is just say, I don't need a loan. Give me the property. Here's my leverage. I got a fucking cash cow I've been making 100% every 40 years on in Miami. And yeah, that 100% is 1.5 fucking million profit every 5 fucking years. That's what he's making on the asset alone, much less the liquid, tangible financial incentives that he makes profiting. We're talking about just the asset. That's what he's done. He is a real estate mogul. The only hope we have is either A, run his ass out of town, which that's going to take exactly what I said because there'll always be lemmings and cucks and dumbasses in Miami. They're on this app. They're on other apps that are willing to buy into the hopium, which is why I made this channel. I said, I'm not going to watch this shit get perpetrated again and again and again and do nothing anymore. Because before I made the channel, I turned my back on these Dolphins. I really watched Dolphins football as closely as I used to because it was sickening to me. Because I didn't see a Miami, South Florida identified organization or team anymore. I saw the gentrification change that is ruining my communities down there.
Mhm.
That's what I see.
It's a multinational corporation built for profit.
Fucking bullshit, KP.
Yeah, listen.
Fucking hate it.
Yeah, listen. I got a question though. In this new iteration that's coming, do you think that the removal of the GM Grier is the last stop, or do you think Tua and McDaniel are also under threat?
I think Tua.
I think Tua. I don't know if he's over, but I think they get another quarterback or completely pull the team to bare studs and let them and feed them to the wolves next year. I could see if they fire Mike McDaniel, I could see them keeping Tua, pulling this team to the studs and feeding Tua from the below to the wolves because they're caught on the dead cat. They're caught on the dead cat. I could also see an instance where they do that anyhow and keep Mike McDaniel and bring in a rookie quarterback to learn under the system. But
Grier,
again,
it has now become clear to me, Cap, Grier is the guy that wanted Tua from the beginning. Grier is the guy that's been protecting Tua. Grier is the guy that thinks Tua is the man. Grier is the guy that is sold on Tua harder than any other Tua-neer on this planet. Okay, because now that the rift has formed between McDaniel and Tua, and McDaniel has full license to separate himself from Tua, all of a sudden the GM gets fired. The guy that was chosen over Brian Flores because of his support for Tua.
Mike McDaniel has usurped them all, is what you're saying.
And so what I'm saying is Tua's gone. If Mike McDaniel is still our coach next year and he earns the rest of like if he earns the graces of Stephen Ross and he's kept, okay, Tua's gone. Tua is finished in Miami.
How would he earn it?
Finished in Miami 2 years ago.
Keller, did you get the YouTube thing?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. You put the subscribers on. And real quick, I just want everybody to hit the like button.
Because if they are hiring a GM and they plan on firing McDaniel anyway and totally redoing the whole thing, or if they do as I suggested and they hire a yes man GM to get McDaniel all the groceries he asks for, so he basically
I just figured it out.
So he basically hold on. So he basically acts as a GM by proxy through whoever the yes man is. Either of those scenarios, Tua is gone. Because if a new GM comes in that hires a new coach, he's not going to get a third coach. Okay? There's no coach in their right mind is going to take this job and be obligated to play Tua. Okay? First of all. Secondly, if it's the other way, if it's the yes man scenario, Mike McDaniel's off of Tua. He doesn't believe in him anymore. I could see it right on his face last night.
Yeah, but does he get absolved of that if it's on record that he went?
It doesn't matter.
Part of the
Arbor,
two
bro, 'cause
extension.
all of that was paid for. All of that was
I
ordered
got it,
and
Color.
paid for by Stephen Ross.
I've got it. The collective is pulling out a break glass in case of emergency scenario right now because the fans are really turning their backs, kind of like they did at the fucking the final season of Ryan Tannehill, right? Just like the final season of Tua, they're breaking. What they're gonna do is what they did last time. Hold on,
Chris.
Color. They're gonna let a new GM come in, fire McDaniel, cut Tua, and everyone's gonna be like, "Finally, changes are coming." Meanwhile, the collective is still alive and well, pulling the strings of the new fucking dumbass.
Whose idea was it to make sure that none of our backups upstage Tua? That was Grier's idea.
Yep. Listen, the firing of Grier and what you just laid out, Chris, I think that is a metaphor for. Oh, sorry, that's the same as going to bomb and kill Venezuela. It's bullshit.
Yes, it's bullshit. It doesn't really check out on reasonings for me thus far. Do I agree?
That's like
Do I
a
agree with
50-50,
that
I think.
shit?
When McDaniel had every person on this planet ready to go to war for him to bench Tua for this game last night, and he still chose to back up Tua as if it was Tua just had a bad day.
Well, you know what, Color? If Tua plays shitty next week and Mike McDaniel benches him, you'll know that was certain.
Right.
You know, now that Grier is
Well,
out
no,
of
that
the
was a
building,
certainty.
that's what I'm saying, Cap. Now that Grier's out of the building, does McDaniel flex his muscle against Tua? And if that happens, then we know it was Grier supporting Tua the whole time.
That's the only way that McDaniel, if you ask me, can keep his job, right? Because, like, if you think about firing Grier before the trade deadline, it makes sense as you don't want a GM who's trying to save his job if you feel like you're a team that has to sell off some pieces right now, right? Because he's not going to be – why would he do that? Why is he trying to get picks for, like, the next guy?
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing for McDaniel. If he thinks that he's going to get fired, why is he going to go evaluate someone else, you know, like the rookies and stuff? He's not going to do that unless he feels he has some kind of job safety.
Or
well,
can
you
I
need to
offer
evaluate all the
another view?
rookies in now.
Yeah, can I offer a different view? Can I offer a different view?
Yeah,
Remember,
please.
and based on what I think was his Joe Original just said, after the season, the statement by Ross mentioned the temporary security of both Grier and McDaniel. With that understanding, I believe that the signing of Zach Wilson and the drafting of Quinn Ewers may have been a desperation tactic. I think what McDaniel's, and that's considering that this is a legitimately run operation. That
I got you. We're dispelling some shit on this, but go ahead.
No, I get you. That McDaniel's chance to save his job, because I don't think he's fully safe, is to show that the team can be tangibly better under either Zach or Quinn Ewers. If let's say these last eight
who's
games,
been blocking that, KP, and who's been blocking that?
It's from Grier and above. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, KP, I would say last week in the victory against Atlanta, that was Mike McDaniel flexing his abilities there, because I don't give a shit what anybody says. I know Tua was 4 touchdowns in the air, but that was Mike McDaniel's game plan to switch up and then follow that real quick.
And then follow that with what happened last night. So Ross is saying, well, McDaniel checked out last week. What happened this week? Oh, and now we get the at least for the rest of the year.
So,
McDaniel's
well, hold on now. Right now,
Hold
hold on, Michael. Maybe fucking Mike McDaniel just sabotaged Chris Grier.
Bingo.
Oh, hit that like.
Now you're picking up what KP and I are putting down.
Mike McDaniel just sabotaged Chris Grier. Chris Grier coming out saying, "Hey, Boston's going to be in the building for prime time. We want to show. We need to, do some stuff. He really wanted to draft fucking Lamar Jackson. Back in that draft, I told him Lamar Jackson wasn't any good.
But remember,
I wasn't pulling the trigger back then."
Deal. He didn't just sabotage Chris Grier. He sabotaged the Grier Tua package.
And that's
yes, he did.
That's what makes Tua's comments over the last few weeks make that much more sense. When Tua's saying things like, "I'm just trying to get some guys to come with me," he's
Yep, to
literally
believe
saying,
in me.
He's
I've
looking for
been
allies.
left
He's
out to
literally
dry.
looking for
Yeah.
allies.
Tua's doing
Yeah.
what he can do best. What he's done in the building since being there is getting his own little collective of fucking lemmings around there to do his bidding to protect him from the fact that he ain't fucking shit on the football field.
And the
Go
new
ahead,
class,
Michael K.
and the new class ain't buying in case you didn't notice Ollie
Yep,
Gordon
the new
last
class.
night. The new
These
class
kids grew.
ain't buying in.
These kids been growing up in that soft bitch society who have been master of for a while. They recognize bullshit ass hoe bitches like him all day. These new kids know what that shit looks
As a
like.
rookie, Ollie Gordon as a rookie is already 5 times the maturity of Tua.
Yeah, he's already
Exactly.
figured it out. Listen, I'm sure Tua has no idea about any of this, but the people who represent him have told him what he has to say in this situation, and that's what we're hearing coming out of his mouth.
Crap, is anybody at your house?
No, not right now. I mean, maybe.
Because that truck is on Boston Lane right now, and they just told me that the package of dildos isn't discreetly packaged. I don't want your neighbors thinking you're a freak.
Yeah, see, this is how it goes with Michael K.
Bro, I ain't heard no hide nor hair in you for how many weeks now, bro? You lose to the Patriots and you go.
What are you talking about, caller?
And then all of a sudden, now that we get destroyed by the Ravens again, we got Michael K up here talking about sending Cap dildos, man.
Listen, the only reason Michael K knows the dildos are there is because he wants one or two. That's why he knows it's there. So go ahead and break them all, son.
By the way, Michael K,
he somehow got my address off the dark web. He's been sending me all kinds of weird stuff.
No, I haven't been sending you nothing. I haven't been sending you nothing, but just so you know, I don't want that package getting stolen.
It's not. Don't worry, nobody's gonna take it. I live in a safe neighborhood. I got cameras all over the place, and my wife's probably there.
All right, I might cut. I gotta take my dog out. I might lose internet. But yeah, I just want to let you know it's there. But the 55 gallons of baby oil, 55 gallons of baby oil.
Thanks, appreciate it. Fucking weirdo.
You guys can talk about your disgrace of a franchise.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Michael K. You fuckhead.
We're working on it, bro.
Hit the like button, everybody.
In case you didn't
hit the
notice,
like button, everybody.
We made a big move today. We're working on it. Michael K's like, holy shit, that's actually the first thing the Dolphins have done in months that actually concerns me as a Bills fan.
Well, yeah, all right, yeah. You guys fired the GM, but how is that going to make the team better?
Oh, that is Mike. Oh, that's
okay. How's it going to make it worse, Michael K?
It's going to be status quo. It's going to be status quo. The GM isn't going to change the product that's being put on the
worse.
field.
I asked how it's going to make it worse.
This season's already over.
That's what you're wishing for, Mikey K.
No, it's just, it's the GM puts a uniform on the players. He's not making an interim. Trust me, an interim GM isn't going to be making.
Well, if that's the case, then he ain't even done a good job of that because these uniforms are ugly.
Well, we're not talking about interim though. We're talking about GM.
Right, but I was just listening to Pete's podcast, and all of a sudden the Dolphins are going to go on an eight-game win streak and win the division.
They're not going to win anything.
And Mikey K, and what did you learn from that lesson?
I never learned anything from Pete's show.
I
learned even less. I learned even less from TD's show. It makes me dumber to listen to that shit.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you for saying that we're the smartest ones out there, Mikey K.
Well, Doc, I really didn't include you in the we, so.
Y'all are falling for his trap, man. He just wants to have some fun with some guys and some dildos, so don't fall into Michael K's trap. So
I thought you were banned from all those other sites. I feel honored.
I'm banned from. Pete's. I'm banned from talking on everybody else's.
Well, Pete's gone full YouTuber, bro.
I don't know. I think it was coming. I think it's a mistake to keep Grier or to keep McDaniel.
How would you know?
No. Grier needed to go first.
They both need to go, but if these guys actually want to have a chance of winning, you change the head coach.
I think if they would have fired McDaniel and kept Grier, that would have been a tremendous mistake. Grier needed to go. Grier needed to go.
I agree with you, Tom.
Okay, I don't have to argue with you to convince you of how bad Tua is, bro. How would you? I need to know the answer to the question of how would we know anything of what Mike McDaniel is or could be?
Well, you wouldn't.
Huh?
We can't say in the same sentence, and this is the fallacy that the two ears make, or that the former two ears make, the ones that are finally off of the bandwagon.
I think the argument would be
they
that
continue to make. They acknowledge how bad Tua is. They acknowledge how bad Tua is, but they won't acknowledge how that affects the job that McDaniel could possibly do.
You're correct, but he's also shown.
I'm either correct. There is no but if I'm correct. If I'm correct, there is no but.
No, the but is Tua's been hurt a lot, right? So we've seen him. With
I don't care what the reason is, bro. He's trash.
Michael K. Model Lady's there.
Last night, bro. We put up 6 points last night. We had complete command of the game. Tua. We had complete command of the game. To Mike McDaniel's point, for the first half of that game last night, we had complete command of both sides of the ball, and we put up 6 points. That's on the quarterback, dude.
We didn't lose the game till the end of the third. And you know what? I know what people were saying because I heard Omar Kelly say it today. He's like, well, the defense came out very flat in the third, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, this fucking guy. Every game the Dolphins.
You know who else came out flat in the third?
No.
The side of the ball that put up another goose egg in the third quarter.
They came out flat to start the game, buddy.
Yeah, that's what's befuddled me over the last 2 or 3 years is Omar Kelly's unwavering support of Tua. For me, I discredit everything that man writes. And listen, I used to be a supporter of his. I used to give him credit
as well
for following the team. And I hate to say what I'm saying now, but that shit is pure trash. His coverage of this team, it's borderline irresponsible.
I used to push. I used to rock with them too.
Imagine this, or they memory hold it. But the man admitted to shilling for them.
Yes, he is, and we knew that about him. But there was times where he was still, giving real football takes and didn't care. It's probably why he ended up getting fired from the Sun Sentinel way back when, because they let him go.
Yeah,
remember they built him a whole studio, built the whole thing. They did a couple of episodes, invested all that money, and then he gets let go.
Yeah, let's just take a moment. Let's just take a moment to retrace his career.
Real quick.
Go ahead, Color.
Real quick. I do want to retrace, but a little more short term. The man tweeted the words, in order to keep access, I have to withhold information from the fans that the organization wants me to withhold.
Yeah, he's a shill. Listen, and if we retrace his career, remember at the end of Tannehill, he was one of the most outspoken guys against Tannehill, right?
Yeah.
Which is where he was legit. But then you're right. I think both of you are 100% correct. After he got fired, I think it was from the Herald, not the Sun Sentinel, but when he got fired.
It was the Sentinel.
It was a Sentinel? Okay. When he got fired, he tried to go into like his own independent media joint. And then he showed up on the Pivot podcast.
That was when we saw the interview with Flores and all that with the
he became a freelance writer.
Right.
He was getting articles picked up from Sports Illustrated
every now and
again.
Thing with Poopart for a minute.
And then that obviously failed. He was getting bullied by Big O and all that. Yeah.
He got divorced.
Hold on, that was at which point Reason claims he injected him with a bunch of financial support.
That's right.
Perhaps. And you see, and that's when he got divorced, I think twice in that time span, and then came crawling back to the Miami media world. And from then, his coverage has been 100% suspect. And I hate to say that. I hate to say that because I know his background from Northwest Miami, and I don't respect his coverage anymore. But I do support the fact that he has a job and he's making well and made a name for himself. But I can't trust a word that man writes. Not one word.
No, not about the Dolphins. I mean, I still find him to be a very good entertainer.
His game, because if they're going to pay him to do that, and people are going to make him a millionaire doing that, KP, can we knock him for it? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You
Omar
know?
Kelly has effectively gone from media writer to media personality, and that's the facts. He is not. He's nothing short of just a guy
And look,
playing a
that's what he
guy.
wanted. But that's what he wanted. That's
That's
why
what
he
he wanted.
up on the podcast with Flores
Yep.
and all them guys. You
Yep.
know?
Yep. Meanwhile, the only one I can trust, because everyone's dabbling in it, and I see Chris Perkins playing the game and stuff. Again, the only one that I take from what they say and words is Barry Jackson and Hal. Barry Jackson and Hal are the only two dudes. And well, I like fucking Poupart too. Poupart's my favorite personally, because he's just solidified at Sports Illustrated. He ain't trying to be no media personality or doing that shit. He just wants to do his fucking job and keep it pushing.
And Joe Shad does such a disservice to Palm Beach County, bro. At first, I thought he was just a shill like Omar and all that. But
dude.
no, he's just a straight through sycophant, man.
Let me tell you what the problem is.
You know what Joe Shad is? Joe Shad has been now just a complete follower on things, and I still like him. And, his writing ability, articles are eloquent. They're super eloquent, but he's a tag along. He's just going this way and that way.
Those are two or three guys who try to be objective as they can, but number one, they just don't know much about the world of football in general, and then two, the fixed business or monopoly that NFL franchises are. And so that keeps them confused and keeps them, they don't know how to get in depth.
Not to mention KP, Joe Shad has to write for a bunch of Giants and Patriots fans. And
again, you guys gotta remember, Joe Shad isn't just writing articles about the Dolphins. Like, he's got a whole, like, he's doing those special op-ed fucking pieces and shit. Like, I don't really come down on Joe Shad that much.
Tom Brady for 22 years up here in Palm Beach County, man.
So hit the like button, everybody. Subscribe if you're new. If you're watching anywhere, come over here to YouTube and get in on the program. We're going at it.
Hey, I just want to say KP has been absolutely spot on with his assessment of this organization ever since I've met the man.
Listen, I'm glad you said that last part, Color, because I was about to brag on myself and say this has been my take from initial, and I'm not.
Well,
and
KP, it was always our conversations when we got philosophical about what's happening to the team, which is why we love having you around
on the issue. You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
you're focusing on the real problems.
I would say because you've kept yourself away from like the limelight per se. You've been able to be a little more standish on your position, like, and comfortable with taking all the arrows. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I would say that in our capacity here as show hosts, we've had to play both sides of the fence for the last couple seasons because we've got to cover the games and all.
Listen, I've said as much about you guys, and I definitely understand in the social media world, you got to play the social media game.
We've held the same position. Some people have been consistent. That doesn't mean that we haven't been consistent. You know what I mean?
But I will say other social media or content creators, they've had their feelings for when I make that take. And I'm glad that you guys are smart enough not to get your feelings hurt.
Well, but you know what it is, KP?
Even if we, which I don't disagree with you, but even if we did, I mean, why would we get upset about you thinking the Dolphins are a trash organization? Like, what's wrong with you thinking that?
But what surprises to me is that they would get upset, KP, and the reason isn't because they're mad at you. It's because you're breaking their delusion of their reality. And that's what's upsetting them.
And maybe KP, maybe it's because I've grown up in Palm Beach County where people hate the Dolphins inherently. They hate that organization. So I'm used to everybody throwing arrows about the Dolphins organization to me.
Yeah.
Everybody up here is Pittsburgh, Patriot fans, Giants fans, whatever. Ravens.
Not for long, Color. Fucking Ross just bought all that shit. Not for long, bro.
I know.
They'll be practicing they'll be practicing in fucking West Palm Beach here real soon, calling that like a travel practice.
Right there,
and they'll be having a little facility
on that empty land, right there on Parker and Okeechobee, across
right out there in Okeechobee where I used to pick mushrooms.
It's been vacant for my whole life, dude.
Right there where I used to go pick mushrooms.
One thing TFTG does is ask the hard questions, and I need to ask you a hard question.
Yes, sir.
Oh shit!
Are you familiar with the conversation that Stephen A. Smith had today on ESPN?
No, I haven't. I haven't listened to it yet.
He alluded to the fact that McDaniel is not. I guess they consider him to be white, and they fired Grier because he's black. Do you agree with that?
Oh my god! No,
That's
they
a
did
loaded
not
question.
say
That's
that.
a loaded question, Ali.
They did not say that.
Look at
You know that? Hold on a second.
Hold on. Look at Dolph Kleinman's post. He said, I quote, they fired a brother, and I'm sorry, that's alluding to something.
Hold on, color.
Yeah, I want to answer that. I want to get a chance to answer this.
McDaniel brother too, and that's
I'd like to bring some context to Stephen A. real quick. Stephen A. is always going to suspect that because that's what Stephen A. his life mission is, and I don't disparage him one bit for that.
Hold on. Let me just say this. Hold on. Ali asked me the question, so I want to answer.
Go ahead.
What I will say to Stephen A. though, if I could ever address him directly, is that Stephen A. pumped the brakes a little bit because Miami Dolphins and Stephen Ross have been very careful to craft their image when it comes to these types of things, and they made sure to make sure that McDaniel had a percentage in him. So be careful, Stephen A.
Right. Let me answer Ali here. Ali, and that's the first I heard of that, and I will go back to listen to it. But let me just give you a little extra insight. Right?
What the fuck this fucking guy said?
Let me just give you a little extra insight. Stephen A. Smith, over the last couple of weeks, has been under heavy scrutiny from black people in general, but especially black people on the left side of politics, which happens to be the majority, right? For his disagreement or his supposed attack on Jasmine Crockett in the political world, right? Because Stephen A. has been trying to extend his franchise, right, his own economic fortune into politics, away from sports over the last 2 years, really. So I just want to state that up front, right? But I also want to say this: Stephen A. Smith is playing the game the same way the local media guys are playing a certain game, and no issue brings more hits, positive or negative, than race and politics, right? So you got to understand that when you consider what you've just mentioned about that discussion. Now, me personally, I've always stated that both Grier, McDaniel, and Tua have earned their immediate firing. My position is that it's come way too late to save the franchise, right? My position has always been that firing Flores at the time we did was wrong. It was wrong because of everything that's been said already, right? Now, Flores, I'll end here because I don't want to be too long with it. Flores has a lawsuit in play.
Can you guys hear him still? He's like muted a little bit.
He was about to nail it too. He'll be back.
I'm gonna share the tweet so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
I also want to point out, Ali, that Stephen A. Smith is probably not aware of the effort that the Dolphins have put into making sure their ass is covered when
they actually we pride ourselves.
What I mean is he's probably not aware of the 16th of African American that has been reported that Mike McDaniel has in him.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't think
he's probably not aware of that. You know what I mean? Not that it matters to him. Not that it matters to him. He'd probably still say the same thing. But given what happened with Flores, I'm not surprised that Stephen A. has claimed this, like to KP's point about the clicks, and it I don't want to call it a shtick because he is genuine. He is fighting for what's right in his mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to disparage his cause. What I'm saying is he has claimed that for a lot less than what we've seen here. You know what I mean? Given the track record recently with the Dolphins, with what happened with Flores and all that.
Yeah.
You know, he looks at McDaniel. Doesn't matter if we know he has a 16th of black in him. Okay. He looks at a name like McDaniel from Denver, you know, who's been all over the Shanahan regime. throughout the league we saw how he was prematurely rose up the ranks on Shanahan's word, which is why Flores, hey, it was my opinion at the time, still is, and could be others' opinion that when Shanahan blocked us from getting McDaniel as an OC for Flores, it was intended for him to basically steal the job from Flores. And that's what ended up happening. So you're also looking at I don't know how much hand Chris Grier had in that, but you're looking at, from his standpoint, a group of white guys that stole a black man's job and are now firing the GM that
Again,
hired
real
that
quick,
black
I
man.
don't want to listen. I hate that question because the Champ Gailey just took his job over is black, so we can end it on that.
What I'm saying is they fired the black man. They fired the man that hired the black man that they threw under the bus. They have now effectively whitewashed the entire situation.
Again, I don't even give a shit about none of that because all of those calculated moves of the fucking whatever they're working on that shit too.
What Stephen A might be thinking is all. That's all I'm doing. I'm just saying where it's coming from for Stephen A. Smith, and I can understand why
I don't know what
what
Stephen A's thinking is that he's gonna say his stuff and say how he feels this way or the other. He didn't even have the data, and it's always going to be clickbait on the end of it, and rightfully so. So
the other thing I want to point out, just to add to what KP was saying about why Stephen A is getting some flack from his own community, is that it's also because he platforms people that disagree with him. He allows people to speak that have a disagreeing opinion.
Real quick, Color, before we continue this real quick, and I do want to hear from Kahari specifically, but I want to know, like, I kind of think Dolph Kleiman or whoever this person is, whoever runs this account or whatever, I don't think they're aware of how McDaniel identifies, because they're in this, and if you read the tweet, which I have on the screen right now,
I'm not even sure that's how McDaniel identifies. I'm saying that's how our media propped it up to make sure he had the street cred.
Well, the reason I'm even bringing it up is when we hired Mike McDaniel as a head coach, the 49ers were awarded draft picks because of that. And because of that, that's why I'm like, this is like asinine. That's the whole reason I even brought it up to
exactly
because of how asinine. Why even make a tweet about this? Let alone, I'm pretty sure Stephen A didn't even know who the interim head GM was when we announced that too. So that's why I want to know, Kahari's thoughts.
But all that, Cap was about to make the same point about who we replaced him with. Well, but we're talking about other tokens being used to disparage other tokens. I mean, that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same reason they didn't fire Chris Grier right away when they fired Brian Flores. That would have been too much, in their eyes.
Yep.
You see, this is what happens when you play the virtue signaling game. You're going to forever have to cover your tracks and cover your ass and make people think a certain way, instead of just being honest with yourself that, hey, Stephen Ross, you just thought the guy was the wrong coach, and fuck what anybody thinks you about it for firing him. But no, we have to and we have to do this and that and the other. Now it's in a situation because you lied about other things, not you, Ali, I'm talking about the organization, lied about other things. They're now having to lie to cover other lies. And when Stephen A looks at that situation, he says, all I see it for is they just fired the black man that they used to throw the other black man under the bus.
You see Kyle Van Noy took another shot at Grier today?
Because Stephen A doesn't have to look at it any other way. Stephen A is applying Occam's razor.
Kyle Van Noy
number of assumptions, you know what I mean?
I definitely hear what you're saying. Kyle Van Noy is so upset with the Dolphins. He takes shots at Grier every day. Crazy.
Now, I want to be clear to everybody, because I'm sure everybody already has their opinions about me based on what I've been saying. I am not a player of the race card. I am not one of the people that even likes to engage in the conversation because it always gets misconstrued on both sides. So what I'm saying is, I have been following Stephen A. Smith for a long time. I'm a fan of his. I disagree with most of what his worldview, but I'm still a huge fan and have the utmost respect for him. And so I can attest, at least from what I understand his thinking to be, just an opinion of mine, an educated one, that, you know, he just doesn't have any obligation to get in the weeds and find out all this stuff, Ollie. He sees exactly what's going on. You threw a man under the bus, right? You replaced him with a white man who you then propagandized to make sure everybody knew he had a 16th black in him, right? And then you fire the man that you used to do all that with. And you still have an ongoing lawsuit that's in arbitration as to whether you did all that based on the color of somebody's skin. So I'm just saying, to me, maybe I think he probably shouldn't have said that or shouldn't have that position, or maybe I disagree with his opinion, but I am not surprised nor shocked and kind of expected Stephen A. to make sure everybody ask those questions. That's what his function is, and I appreciate him doing it. I used to hate it, but I've come to understand him, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand what he's doing, and he's right for doing it, in my opinion. Don't mean to me. I didn't mean to drag all that out, Ollie. I'm sorry.
It's all right, man. I'm just eating lunch, listening.
I'm just trying to give some insight on my opinion as to where Stephen A. may be coming from. You know, I'm not going to weigh in on whether he's right or wrong. You know, I mean, in the Flores situation, I have my own opinions, and I think that somebody got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and nobody wants to lick off the chocolate. You know what I mean?
Damn.
It's just like a broken bone, Ollie. You know it when you see it. Most of them are just sprains, but when it's broken, you know it. You don't need a doctor to tell you. And that was having gone 21 years of my life playing football and everything and never breaking a single bone until I got in a car accident in my 20s. And the second I broke my bone, I knew it was broken. I didn't need no doctor to show up at the car accident scene to tell me.
All right, everyone, hit the like button. What is up, Greg? I just saw that you were in the back. How's it going, sir?
It's the same reason we haven't done what we've needed to do when it comes to quarterback, bro, because of the same idea that somebody thinks that their image is gonna be ruined if they, move on from a guy, because everybody has already made it clear, that that's what it's about. So
Well, yeah,
in this case, it's not black, it's his Polynesian heritage. See, everybody's got to make everything about everything else except playing football.
they were all tied to it.
That's why we're losers. That's why we're 2-7.
Like, if you look at our top 10 contracts right now in the Dolphins, like 2 of the players are probably worth the money. That's just like the ultimate recipe for disaster.
I believe the word is called equity. Tua is never good enough to play in the NFL. Enough people thought that he was, and there was enough money to be made that giving him his contract and all that is a drop in the bucket from how much we've made off of him.
Oh
and,
yeah, that's true.
and is nothing more than charity. Stephen Ross is wasting our time because of his personal charity mission for Tua Tagovailoa. There, I said it.
Well, Tua's gonna be fucking
charity case.
gone with the win. He's gonna take his yacht and fucking go over there to the fucking Texans next season, and we're gonna start a different quarterback. And if it's if we shit the bed, then the head coach will get fired.
Yeah, you are simply looking at a direct comparison between meritocracy and equality and equity. You're looking at the direct comparison right here.
I don't see how Mike McDaniel can stay the coach personally, but I guess we'll see. Like, I wanted to leave the stadium.
After the season ends?
I wanted to lead the stadium on the first drive when they ran the ball on 3rd and 6 in the red zone. Like, I was already done with that game at that point. Not only did they burn a timeout, like, what was it, 12 minutes in the first quarter? So they burned a timeout, and after that timeout, on 3rd and 6, they run the ball. Like,
that's actually outrageous.
Let me explain to make it clear. Let me explain equity a little better for people, right? Tua says, I can't see over the line. That's why I'm failing at my job.
Yeah, exactly.
So do we say, well, you're not good enough to do the job then? Because that's what the job in the NFL requires.
I mean, the coach
we didn't say that. We didn't say that. We said, okay, let's spend millions of dollars and waste thousands of fans' time, money, and effort for 5 years, 6 years to get you a line that you can see over that is still good enough to block for you.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Right. But we did it because that's equity. We didn't say earn it, Tua. We said, here you go. You're already that good, and we'll just give you what it takes to show people that you're that good.
I know, but
that's called equity.
But that's not. That's so trying to be fair is making things.
No, that's not fair. Fair.
That's what equity is a fair practice.
Fair is equal opportunity. Fair is saying, hey, Teddy Bridgewater might be better than you.
You don't initiate equity unless you're trying to be fair.
Wait a minute. Fair and equal opportunity is saying, hey, Teddy Bridgewater might be better than you. Let's give him the same opportunity you got.
Right.
To show it. Whereas equity is, no, we're going to make Teddy look bad so that you maintain the image that you look good.
No.
Because you deserve it just like Teddy. You both went to college for 4 years. You both did this, that, and the other. So why shouldn't you look better than Teddy? He's a backup.
No. Equity is 3 people trying to look over a fence, and you have a couple boxes.
Right.
And so you give
Right.
You give the short guy the most boxes. You get the medium guy one box. And you give the tall guy no boxes.
Right. Instead of making the short guy climb the fence to get higher.
You give him 2 boxes.
Right. Just like you give Tua a shorter offensive line.
But that's not. But you can't apply that. That practice can only be applied so many ways, and it's the same thing.
You're saying Tua can't function with the same size box. So we're going to get him a shorter box.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. Yes.
Instead of getting a guy that is taller.
Right. I see what you're saying.
They can see over the line.
But it's like, why are you doing that though?
Because that's what. Do we want the best? Are we paying people millions of dollars because they're the best? Or because they look good in a football uniform?
We're paying them to be able to see over the fence at this fucking point.
The reason we don't watch the UFL is because the NFL has the best talent on the planet.
Exactly. And that's not what's being represented on the fucking Miami Dolphins right now.
That's equity.
That is not exactly.
They're making it look like the best in the world. That's equity. It's another word for charity, bro. It's like you're saying Tua earned it by going through college and putting his time in and breaking his hip and going through the tough rigors of football. So he deserves $50 million like everybody else in the NFL.
Well, no, that's where they jumped the shark, right?
That's
Well,
Them doing-
equity.
Well, it's true because I've literally heard people say that, and the reasonings for that is it plays.
If I
it
was the
plays
short
on
kid,
our
I'd get
human
here.
empathy.
I'm sorry, Cap. Real quick, Raphael, perfect. If I was the short guy, I'd get some goddamn bolt cutters and cut a hole through the fence and go in.
What? The fuck does that mean,
I
Color?
wouldn't expect an extra box to stand on. I would just cut a hole through the fence and go in.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about that fucking thing. Anyhow, to me, with a statement like that, the problem is it plays on our human emotion and our empathy, and we also play upon what we perceive to be own slights in our own life for shortcomings of why you didn't get your shot or your chance or you got
Doug
overlooked.
Flutie cut a hole through the fence.
And that type of way of thinking is unrealistic in combat sports and competitive sports in life and everything. You can't sit there and say woe is me and get anywhere. It doesn't work.
Right. And when you let a guy go on the football field in the NFL based on equity, what ends up happening? He gets hurt.
Look,
he gets hurt.
Again, and I don't know if Tua's under quote unquote in an equity sense because the kid did and does possess talent and an ability to play the game.
A lot of people do. Cap, that's what I'm saying.
for the CFL.
But I would say that's right.
1,642 NFL players, bro.
But see,
but Color, here's the thing, boys. I would say, and this is why I didn't believe Chris Grier needed to be fired, right? I know people want him fired, but again, that's why I say the devil I know. Tua is a mid quarterback, and I could find a bunch of mid quarterbacks like Tua. Dylan Gabriel's the name that's hot right now for that type of comparison. And what Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel has done in a short windowed span is put so much around a game plan, so much around that people started thinking he was something he wasn't. And that to me is tangible. If they could do that with the guy that actually had the tools and was physically gifted and knew those things, we'd really fucking have something.
Okay, but that's not what's happening, though.
But that's the fallacy. They wouldn't.
That's
need
not
to
what's
do all
happening.
that if the guy had the talent.
How many years have been trying to apply that?
Well, there's
They
two
wouldn't
arguments,
need
right?
to do all that. It would speak for
I agree
itself.
with Color on this because if you had the guy that had the talent, you don't need to run the system. You could run it more basic.
You don't need the fucking product sells itself. The product sells itself.
Forget the
Is he
system.
even the
Ollie.
same talent right now, though? After the concussions, is he the same
marketing,
talent?
all that stuff. You
Yeah.
wouldn't need that.
You get it
Yeah,
organically.
the fat cats can do less and still make as much as all that the outcome would be with that talent. Is what you're
If
saying.
you look at Tua in the pocket now,
Nobody
like,
ever had
it's
to hype
clear he's not the
Patrick
same player.
Mahomes. He did it with his play on the field.
Well, I'm
It
not
was
saying
the-
hype,
it was
Color. I
the
was talking
left-hand-
about
Hold on.
I was talking
It was
Color.
the
I wasn't talking about the
left-hand
hype.
throws- Hold on.
I was.
It was the left-hand throws and the no-look passes that got Patrick Mahomes on the billboard. Not the Kansas
Again,
City
I'm not
Chiefs.
talking about a quarterback on a billboard. What I'm talking about, ability to A, put talent around him to do that, and B, scheme up the game to make him look that way with that talent. And that, if they could do it with somebody that I believe has the tools, we could really have. Again, the Dolphins for an organization for the first time and even since, dating back to Shula, they actually built around a quarterback in an amazingly competitive way, football-wise. That's what I'm saying. Tua could never do it because he's never going to be a quarterback you could win because of. He'll only be a guy you could kind of win with. But they schemed up an offense, built a team.
Yeah, we're talking about we win the game because Tua didn't turn the ball over.
Yes, again, and my point is that if we had somebody else with the brain trust building around them the way they did. Now, I don't know if the next Chris Grier, if this guy, Champ Kelly, who seems to be, I think he'll get the job in the end. I'm telling you guys right now, put it in your bingo card, Put it on your checklist.
If
Champ Kelly will have the
McDaniel's the coach going
GM
forward,
job.
then you're right. You're right. If they choose McDaniel going forward, then you're right. They'll just keep the interim GM and let him.
And if that's the case,
the
and
thing.
they actually get lucky with the quarterback, with the
That's
tools,
not gonna go
skill
well
set,
with the fans. I'm telling you right now.
I think it'll be pretty awesome. But if they have Champ Kelly come in and he fires everybody and they do the rebrand, we're par for the course to be right where we are right now, 7 years later. Mark my fucking words. Mark my words.
Don't
Look
let
at
him be
the
7
who they
years.
bring in. Because the rebrand isn't about doing the football shit and building it the right way. It's about recucking the fucks, is what it is. So I'm telling you, if we get off course off of continuing on to something different and get them outside of the playbook I know they possess right now,
Remember,
I don't know
Ross,
what we could do differently.
right? And remember, Cap, Ross has the ability, if he so chose to personally call up on the phone every single one of our players individually, if he wanted to, and ask them flat out, would you run through a brick wall for McDaniel? And if the majority says yes, McDaniel's not going anywhere.
If we had a better quarterback, then this team would have a lot more success.
Simply put, man.
No, because
If the way in which Grier made savvy moves and got guys like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey on this football team, and the way Mike McDaniel schemed up the weapons from Mostert to Waddle to fucking everything, and it was around a quarterback that was named Lamar Jackson, we would not be where we are right now. That's it.
Because we have a better quarterback.
We would be in an incredible circumstance.
Yeah, but didn't Ross want to draft Lamar Jackson?
But what I'm
Again,
saying
you
is
could say
our
Ross
quarterback
wanted to,
literally
but that's not what
complains-
happened.
our
If Ross
quarterback
really wanted it,
literally-
he would have done it.
He complains about not being able to see down the field, and then when he can't throw the ball, he throws it and gets intentional groundings. Like it's like he complains that he can't see, and then he shits the bed at the same time. And it's like
No, this year's Tua is not the same. The concussions have clearly, or it's whether it's the concussion or the money or a combination of both. Like he's complete ass this season. Like I don't know how like even the biggest
They
like,
got nothing to do
fans
with concussions,
could
Roberto.
defend him this year.
He's always been ass. It's just they just made it.
They've got that's right.
Shittier.
That's right. All
just
you're
made it
seeing
look
is Tua with less support that Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel have been able to provide.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all we're seeing. We are not seeing anything new or old or anything like that. We're seeing the same guy I've watched since he's come into the NFL, bar a little bit
I
of
actually
maturity.
feel like he was more competent under Flores than he's playing this year.
Because Flores pulled
was
him out of
more
the games and built the wall
before he got
garden,
his large
and they had an
contract.
entire collective of fucking offensive coordinators scheming up everyone and everything around him.
Remember how the game went against Atlanta? Remember how the game went against Atlanta? Every single game would be like that if Flores was still our coach.
If Brian, that's exactly what it would. That's exactly what we would have. He is
every
blind.
game would be
That
Tua.
would be
Every game would be Tua for 200 yards, 4 tutties, and a 120 passer rating, and a good running game and a solid defense. Every single game would go like that.
No, the only difference would be is that they would implement probably a little bit more run. Tua would only have 2 passing touchdowns.
Of course,
Those
of
would be
course.
rushing. Hold on, Color, because Brian Flores would work on the play that you were throwing yourself back in the game, and he was intercepting the ball, and then they were going to run the clock on you now with the run.
The difference, Cap, the difference is the wins would look just as mediocre, except we would be getting those wins against Buffalo too.
Mm-hmm.
And Baltimore and all the other teams.
Yep. Because you have a defense that is stingy when it comes to footballs in the air and not being.
The point I'm really trying to make, and I'm surprised I'm saying this because I was off of Tua from the beginning, much like Flores, but Tua was actually a better quarterback under Flores, statistically and eye test. Go look.
I don't know
All I
about
know,
I don't know about eye test.
The
I
only
thought Tua- I
standout
thought-
year, the only standout year is 2023. Every other
I don't
year,
know. I thought
everything else has been worse than under Flores.
again. I
It's been
thought
less
under
it's been less
2022.
consistent. It's been less consistent, less Tua taking command. Tua was starting to take command. When we beat the Patriots in Flores' last game, Tua took command of that freaking game and that offense that day.
Again,
That's why
I would
Flores was
say
crying on the way out, because
2022
he's like,
and
they finally
2023.
got what I was trying to say, and I'm going to get fired for it.
2022 and 2023, I thought Tua made leaps and bounds to leaning into what he can do well and do that and that only a lot. And that's
That
when
was
he
at
was
which
at his
point-
best. The
That was
problem
at
with it
which
is,
point Twitter took over the playbook, bro.
but the problem in that is, and will always be when it comes to Tua, is that I can scheme up a defense and just put guys in places to take that away. And not just take it away,
fair.
but erase it completely.
Right,
And
but
that's
because
fair.
of
And what I'm
that,
saying
then
is
you
Flores
are forced to either beat me with your arm or beat me with your leg, and you can do neither.
Right, and I'm just saying, when Tua, the last few games under Flores, was starting to really, like, again, what you're talking about, Cap, when it's like you see some of the advancements he made, he was going to make those advancements even under Flores. It was just going to get better.
He was on a trajectory upwards for a little bit.
Look at the stats in the last Flores year are actually way more efficient and better. Like they're what we expected out of the type of quarterback Tua is.
And if you go back 3 years and watch Tua in the pocket, like, it's not. He looks
But
scared
again,
shitless back there now.
right,
Like,
and Roberto, real
He's
quick,
terrified.
not to cut you off, but I got to land real quick, because what Cap was saying about him, advancing his skill set and all that, that was at which point McDaniel came into the building,
He
and
supercharged it.
Twitter took over our playbook. Okay, because when you look at what we were doing under Flores, it was a lot of dink and dunk, but we call it dink and dunk is the same thing that I call the Patriots
Patrick
vaunted
Mahomes.
Earhart Perkins system. You know
Patrick
what I mean?
Mahomes is running it right now, Color.
It's really an Earhart Perkins is literally simply the inside north-south version of the West Coast.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And Tua was actually starting to thrive in it.
You know, I actually questioned what Color was saying at first, but when you go back and look at it, Tua threw a lot less interceptions with under Flores than he did with McDaniel. And in addition to that, it's got, except for that 1 year, 2023 specifically, it's been pretty bad and not as consistent.
And the irony of it is, Ali, everybody keeps talking about these bad performances as being outliers now, right?
Yeah.
And it turns out that debacle against Tennessee was the outlier, because he came back against the Patriots and looked fantastic.
Yeah. And also, El Cap mentioned the 2022 season, that he, of what Tua could become. I still remember that Packers game, and I believe
I do. I knew. Yeah, but that was bitch made Tua that we always knew who he was. I'm just saying that as far as incremental growth from what he grew from outside of what I thought he was, there was things he did surprise me with. Because I read him off as one of these guys that was going to slump his shoulders over, but there was a time where he actually like grinded and like did the things that.
Hold on, real quick, because this might actually change your mind instantly. How much of what we saw in the 22 or 23 season, or in those moments, how much of it was actually Tua, and how much of it was actually having guys like Tyreek Hill or Devon Achane around?
So I would say having those guys around, it absolutely helped him, and that's it.
70,
but
30.
Again, I would still say Tua has the bulk of that, because he's got to beat him
I
there.
give Tua the 30%. What I'm saying is I would give Tua some credit for that.
I would say it's not Tua in the majority, but again, Tua leaned. Well, I would say if you add Mike McDaniel on that, I would say Mike McDaniel had mostly to do with it. Then comes the players, and then Tua. But Tua has a much bigger portion size than you guys would anticipate because he did grind and leaned into what Mike McDaniel was saying and doing, and Mike McDaniel crafting all this around him. And he did the work to make it work. The problem was that's all he can do is if you work within his limitations and give him perfection, he'll deliver. He didn't even work that hard these last 2 years. That's why he's not delivering on it. Since he signed that contract, that work has stopped. So that's really what it was about. Why? Not because he loves the game or wants to be the best or wants to win a Super Bowl. It was always about money with Tua, and it's obvious. And anyone who doesn't think so, you're a fucking idiot. Honestly. And that's fine. He ain't the first, and he won't be the fucking last. Especially here in Miami, we've been routinely brutalized with guys coming up here, chalking up their numbers somewhere else, or even here, getting paid and kicking their feet up. And that's what time it is.
The thing is that Tua Tagovailoa, he'll never put his body on the line for this team. It's never team first. It's him, and then the team gets.
But Ali, into his defense, and I'll play devil's advocate here. That's all we've heard them preach to him, and him preach at the podium that he needs to get better at. Is that he needs to throw the ball away.
Hold on.
He's got to protect himself.
Where you're coming from? Hold on. Repeat that again, El Cap, because I'm not understanding where you're coming from.
For the last 3-4 years, even. Tua has always said at the beginning of the season, at the end of the season, when they're talking about things he needs to improve on, he always said what they're asking him to do is throw the ball away, protect himself better, protect him number one, because they got nothing without him. They've always said that. And only now, and that's what every time people say Tua threw it away or why did he do that or whatever, I said, listen, that's what they told him to do. That's what he's been saying. He's been working on for 3 fucking years.
Look, I'm sorry. I've seen other quarterbacks, right?
I'm not saying other quarterbacks do it.
Hold on. Just hold on 1 second. And I understand where you're coming from, but ultimately this is a choice, right? You can choose to be a winner, or you can choose to be a guy that just collects a paycheck. And so far, that's what he is, a guy that just collects a paycheck. And if you tell me it's because the team told him to be that way, right? Then that's bullshit, because I know other quarterbacks. Hold on, Color. I know other quarterbacks in this league that they said the same thing to, and you know what?
Right.
They rose to the occasion that said, hey, you know what? I'm going to put my body on the line for the team.
Right. I'm going to have to side with Ali here, Cap, because this is a case of if I was a stud, hold on. If I was a stud, which I am, and a coach told me, like, you can't run and this and that and the other, and tried to limit my game, I would be insulted by that. And I would purposely run.
Didn't he famously say he's willing to die on the field before he got paid?
Hold on. Again.
Yeah, exactly.
Tua
exactly.
Possess the necessary mentality.
He's in the blender, right?
Am I in the blender?
Bro.
You were, now you're not. Go ahead, El Cap. Go ahead and say what you want to say.
Okay, well, I'm getting ready to cross state lines, so that's why it's switching.
So is Tua.
To me, Tua can't do those things. He knows his body's too frail, and that's what they preach to him. I'm not saying I wish he would do it or wish I had that quarterback, or other quarterbacks don't do it. Fuck. Joe Burrow does it every year and gets injured, and he's gone.
All he's saying, Cap, is you can't excuse Tua because he's following orders.
I'm not excusing him. I'm telling y'all it's what they want, and it's what Tua wants.
When it comes to ordering, hold on. When it comes to ordering him, an athlete, to limit his own game, and he just accepts it, that's on Tua, bro.
He definitely.
It took 3 years to accept it, Color. It took 3 years. It took 3 years, guys.
If you watch him whenever he scrambles out now, like it takes him like 5 seconds to decide, should I run? No, I can't run. No, I can't run.
Roberto, you notice he's been literally spinning his head, checking his six constantly?
Yeah, he's so scared back there. It's crazy.
He's scared as fuck. Yeah, and that's fine. But at the end of the 2022 season, when he went down with injury, They preached it, and every year, 3 years, we're in 2025 now, and now he's
I
trying
would
to
have been
play
asking for a
to not
trade.
get hurt.
No, you're
If
right.
they were
Just
preaching
injured.
that,
Fuck
if they were
injured. He
preaching
has
that
to
to
play to
me,
not get hurt.
if they were preaching that to me, I would have asked for a trade.
All of last season, the head coaches at the press conference were like so mad that he went head first on that defender and knocked himself out. Like they were like, you just can't be stupid like that. Like they kept saying it. Like so, he's completely new.
And
to
I
that.
say,
Why
I
is
say,
it
the reality is that you
but
gotta
wait,
you
why
gotta
is it
play
stupid?
football,
They're
bro.
saying don't be stupid like that and play football.
I say play football, bro.
That's the Dolphins'
Bash the
fault for
motherfucker head.
that's the Dolphins' fault for keeping him. That's the Dolphins.
Look. I'm not asking the guy to die on the field or anything. I'm not asking him to
I
do
am. I wish someone would let me die
What
on
I
that
mean
field.
is-
I'll
what
fucking
I
put my
mean
heart in
is-
that shit.
If it comes down to winning,
Oh,
right, and you got to dive for that 1 yard, then by all goddamn it, dive for that 1 yard.
he's
But
not gonna
don't
do
do
that.
it foolishly if you know you're not going to make it. Don't do something like
And
that.
I'm telling you right now.
Ali, you're getting to the crux of the culture problem in Miami. Okay, right here, and I'm going to give you. I'm going to tell you exactly the way it
give
is.
up on
I'm
plays.
sorry, people. Hold on. Put your kids away. Hide your wives, because I'm about to say something that is
Does
not for
everybody get right
everybody's
down
ears. Okay?
Go ahead.
Football is a violent sport. And when I say it's a violent sport, it's kind of like the question of not why did Rome fall, but what took so long. When we talk about, it's amazing that so few, if any, have ever been killed on the football field. I'm sorry I have to say that.
Well, someone.
But when these players step out onto that field, from the moment they started playing Pop Warner football, they made that decision. Okay, so what I'm trying to say, it's just like the guy in the foxhole on Band of Brothers, and he's shivering in his boots during the battle. And after the battle, his commander comes up, looks down in the hole, and says, "You know what? The sooner you realize you were dead when you got here, the easier it'll be to do your job."
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but
So I don't have any. I'm sorry. I have sympathy, maybe empathy, but I have no patience or room for excuse for saying, "Hey, don't die out on the football field. Don't put
And
your
again,
life on the
this
line
is-
out on the
this
football
is-
field."
This
If you
is-
don't want
this
to
is-
put your
this
life on the
might-
line,
has made it
if you
very
don't want to
clear.
put your life on the line, do not step foot on a football field. That's what I have to say.
Again, but remember, we're not dealing with a football team. We're dealing with a financial team, and
that
our
is why I said,
assets.
that is why I prefaced
But
it
hold
by
on.
saying there's
But
the culture
Tua
problem
has
in
even made
Miami.
it clear.
There
Tua-
is the culture problem in Miami.
Tua has made it clear what his most important objective is of the day, and that's returning home to his family. He
Right.
said at
That's
the end
true.
of the day,
He said
at
that.
the end of the day, I go home to my wife and kids, and they're happy to see me. So he's not going to allow
He's
himself.
operating like a police officer
He's
now.
operating like
Yep.
somebody who's trying to go home after this game. So he's going to look to his right.
Oh, you mean
He's
like
gonna look
Tommy
to
Lee
his left
Jones in No
so he
Country
doesn't
for
get
Old
a
Men?
concussion and die. Because
which is
his
why he's been
concern
awful this
is to
season.
get through the game and get home. And he expressed that.
Yeah, he's Tommy Lee
Right to
Jones
our
in No
fucking
Country for
faces.
Old Men.
Yeah,
That
he won't,
this
he
is
won't
what I'm
put his
doing at the
body
end
on
of
the
the
line
game,
for the team.
guys.
That's pretty much
So
what it comes down to.
if I gotta just throw the ball to the ground so I don't get a fucking concussion, that's what I'm gonna do. If I
You
gotta
can't
look
play
to the
football
left,
like that. That's why he looks so
well,
bad
exactly. But that's the Dolphins' fault for keeping him. That's the
Yeah.
Dolphins' fault. That's the Dolphins'
well,
fault
let me
for
ask you
making
this,
the
though,
offensive
Roberto.
line better for him, so
And
he
that's
can
why
see
they
over
let
the-
Chris Grier fall
I got
off
a
the
que-
sword.
I got a question for Tonkin Roberto along those lines. Would it be something that a person would do if they were obligated to play out a contract because they wanted those millions, but really didn't want to play football for the rest of their lives? Is that not how they would conduct themselves?
That's exactly how I would conduct myself.
Taking business
Exactly.
decisions. 100%.
It's exactly
Tell her
that's why
by
he
some
bought,
miracle,
that's why he
my
bought a
short
yacht.
fucking light ass was in the NFL. And second I got it back, I was like, all right, I'm out of here. I'm a millionaire. I
That's
fucking did
why
it.
he
I'm
was
out.
willing. That's why he was
It's
more willing
easy to
buy
take those
a
crazy
yacht.
hits when you're trying to get the money.
Show me the money.
But once you
Show
got
me
that
the
deal,
money.
You don't gotta take those crazy hits anymore.
He's got a yacht and he's got a wife and kids. He don't need fucking nothing else.
Yeah, he wants to enjoy that fucking money.
He wants to be able to go on that yacht this weekend. So, tomorrow before the game, like it's a clown show, and it's just allowed to exist this way. It's allowed to exist this way.
We have become Miami Dolphins fans and organization has become a fucking slush fund for billionaires to profit off of and fucking
exactly
to
what
cash in on. We are a slush fund organization.
The NFL has
allowed it. They encourage it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly. Roger
the
Goodell
cog in the machine that pushes this shit. Meanwhile, we're pushing our way into fucking South America and fucking Madrid, and we're all over Central America. We're getting ready to rip all these motherfuckers off too, boys. Wait till guess what? Don't worry about us being able to show up at the stadium and have some kind of fucking hold in and express our displeasure with the fan base, because they're fucking bringing in the great replacement of fans around the world to counterbalance any shit we got going on. So we're officially losing this organization is what's happening.
Yeah, we're losing it to bullshit. We're losing it to fucking players that give up on.
We're losing it to capitalism, bro, for billionaires. Yeah. That's a fact. Capitalism is fucking crushing our shit.
NFL is allowing it.
Allowing it, dude. That's their fucking modus operandi.
We got two other teams in the same state that are actually trying to win, that are actually trying to do it, and then we have the Dolphins.
I mean, I could say Tampa's trying sometimes. Again, I don't know.
I think the Jags are. I think they are.
I don't know. Their owner is just another Stephen Ross. I'm telling you right now, Jacksonville, any Jacksonville Jaguar fan, listen in and listen now. The exact way in which the Jags owner is moving, he is using the Miami Dolphins playbook. I promise you. I see what he's doing in Jacksonville. I'm literally getting ready to roll up in Jacksonville right now.
We might as well start calling them the London Jaguars.
No. He is. Listen, I mark my words. Jaguars will play games in London, Jacksonville, and Saudi Arabia, and that will be their fucking deal. Mark my fucking words.
And
mark
Dubai.
My words.
Not Dubai either.
Well, Dubai as well, but yes, it will happen.
This is a very interesting statement by Greg. Thank you for whoever pulled it up.
You're welcome.
Because it begs a question, a very important one. He says Grier is finally gone. Guess who's one of the main problems tied to Grier? Tua. Bench him while we get a new GM. This new GM better be against Tua, money or not. I'm sitting him. Very good question, Greg.
Well, no, but
do we see Tua play another snap?
I think
not after this season.
I think you do.
Remember, I said that.
Wait a minute.
Now, because Greer's gone, Mike McDaniel bench Tua.
Regardless,
I don't think so.
Hold on. Let me say why I'm asking the question. Tua represents the biggest investment on our football team and for any potential trade partner.
Right.
That GM, whoever it may be, is going to want a healthy Tua.
Well, they only have till Tuesday, so
yeah, I mean
they're not trading.
I'm talking about for next season.
There is not a team and organization in the NFL that would trade Tua right now. There may have been a shot. There may have been a shot to trade for Tua with New Orleans or something like that, but no.
I'm talking about
they gotta have the top two.
I'm talking about after all the times gone by, we're sitting just before.
With the PFF graphics, you can resell the product.
Hold on.
Yes,
we're sitting just before July next off season. Okay, and the rumors are we're shopping Tua. That GM is going to want a healthy Tua.
Yeah.
I'm not. Even if we're shopping him for somebody's backup, I'm just saying
a decent portion of the contract.
So you're saying bench him now?
Some GM will think they can play him in regular offense.
What I'm saying is our fan base is a microcosm for the entire league, and I would estimate that 30% or so of our fan base still believes in Tua and believes that he's just had a raw deal and he's still the guy, right?
I don't know about 30%.
That means that 30% of the entire NFL likely also believes that. There is a sucker born every day.
He's
And I'm
definitely
just
tradable
saying
next year.
that GM that we might be getting, we are going to want to present a fully healthy roster of all of our tradable stars.
You know,
Keller's trying to sell some snake oil right now. Keller, they're not going to sit to maybe McDaniel will fucking do that. This organization,
I didn't say they were. I'm asking whether they should, not whether they will, whether they should.
Well, they should, because in that sense, because they can hold on to an asset rather than trying to sell what is potentially damaged asset.
If
but
they
how much more
like
damage? How much more damage can you do to Tua right now with the contract he has?
Here's the thing. This is the reason why I don't think they're going to bench him, is because one, who in their right mind know everybody? I'm sorry, but if you didn't know, the secret is no longer a secret. Tua's trash. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows he's the laughing stock of the entire league, right? Everybody knows what his limitations are.
Have you been on Twitter this morning, Ali?
Trade assets.
Have you been on Twitter this morning, Ali?
Say that again.
Have you been on Twitter today?
Yes, I've been on Twitter today. I was on Twitter all this morning.
I beg to differ about your assessment of the level of
I'm sorry
that the fans in the NFL at large think to it is.
I'm telling you right now that every space I've been to that is not a Miami Dolphins space, they actually sit there and make fun of us.
Well, I know we do too. We do too, but Chris Grier
right now.
We do too, but Chris Grier still believed in him.
Well, Chris Grier is maybe an outlier. Not saying that outliers don't exist, but the reality is everybody and their mother knows that he is not really going to be able to do very much because of his limitations. So if you think you're going to come in here and I'm going to give you bunch of let's say I give you a 6th and a 7th and I'm going to take on that huge contract, I'm sorry, we're going to have to give up draft capital just to be able to trade him.
They'll sell it as a change.
Like we had to do.
Hold on, I want to
forget we had to do it when we got rid of Tannehill.
Hold on, I want to get crypto in here in a second, but look,
hold on.
They'll sell him as a change of atmosphere guy.
Please, no.
He's been off a whole off season to learn and get better. And
let's not forget who was the guy from Denver that they gave a $63 million contract to, only to trade him for a 2nd-round pick.
Brock Osweiler.
Tua is still a 5th overall pick. He's still holding.
This is what's going to happen. We're going to have to pay a team.
I'm sorry that the NFL.
The colors point a little bit, though. We have had the rebrand tour every year now.
I'm sorry that a lot of people in the NFL at large are complete idiots, Ali. Okay, but there are people that still have no idea, that think that in other words, it's just like I always say about guys like Zach Willis and Daniel Jones. Are the Dolphins a model organization all of a sudden?
No, they're not. And on top of it, if I have a good marketing idea, since we have an organization that want to be the marketeers of the league.
Well, fifth overall. Okay. Let me drive it home.
God damn.
Go ahead, bro. Don't get
what I'm
upset,
trying
man.
to say. Okay, all right, that's it. I give up. Fuck this. Go ahead, Color.
Really?
No, every fucking time, Color. Every time.
Color, you have been selling this point pretty hard.
Stop, bro. Come on, really? We're gonna go.
Yeah, go ahead, Ali. He's selling it. Go, Ali. I want to hear it.
What I wanted to fucking say, and at this point, it's not even going to be fucking funny, is the fact that I think Grier should actually team up with Laughing Cow, because all we are is a cash cow and a laughing stock of the fucking league.
Yeah, I know. We've heard that all day, bro.
I don't know about hearing that, but I will say this: I don't think to sell Tua, no one's purchasing.
Correct the record that you fucking didn't let me finish my point to begin with, which is why I was talking the fuck over you.
The NFL's full of reclamation projects, man.
You just got to ride
again,
this
though.
fucking wave.
You can look at it on both ends of that pendulum. There's been reformation projects every year right now going on in the NFL, from Sam Darnold to fucking Geno Smith I mean, now this year, Daniel Jones, we're seeing every year they could pitch, sell PFF grades, was the passing leader. They can pitch all these things.
Stop. Y'all act like you don't sit here and watch this shit go on every fucking year. Tua is a 5th overall pick. His fucking marketing people can parlay whatever the fuck they want with the next team. He is going somewhere, and he is still vaunted in this dumbass league.
Yeah.
100%.
And that ultimately is true.
I think he'll just get
that's the way in which the NFL operates.
I don't see
the only idiot fan bases out there.
We are jaded in our assessment of what someone else will purchase. Again, I would have said 2 years ago, not only could we have sold Tua to Carolina, but they would have paid the king's ransom for him.
For Christ's sake, they were still hyping up Marcus Mariota the other night. Give me a break.
Exactly. And my point is that you can pitch, repackage, and sell something. The kicker on this is not only the way in which everything is faltered, the money's involved. I can see us in a more situational pattern where it was Tannehill, where we had to give up assets for someone to take him, and that's probably more likely.
No,
we're
gonna
he's
ride
a better
the wave.
prospect than Tannehill, right?
We're gonna ride the wave for the rest of the season.
But again, you're not wrong about him being a better prospect.
You're going to eat
than
part of his
Tannehill.
cap, right? Like,
and then we're
for
just
the Dolphins to try to, they're going to have to eat half the cap probably, but they're not going to give up assets. It's just going to be a financial.
There's gonna have to be some sugar on top. Promise you that, because if Tua plays all year, he's gonna go down with injury at some point. To Color's point, to try to deactivate.
All of this is moot. If nobody takes him and nobody bites anyway, then he's getting cut.
That's what I'm saying. That's what's going to happen. They're just going to cut him. They're going to ride this wave until.
But I don't think they could cut him next year. Isn't it like 99 mil dead cap?
What? Okay. I got to put this to bed too, right here with this dead cap stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
we have already lost the money. Okay, we've already lost the money.
Exactly.
The money's gone.
You can only lose for money.
Exactly.
You can always lose more at this point. You might as well cut it off.
Well, we're gonna ride this wave until it's the cheapest they can
we
get to,
continue
and
to
they're gonna
play Tua, we have to continue to pay Tua.
Yeah, but no, even if
the money is gone.
Even if they don't play him, they still have to pay him. That's what I'm saying.
That's my point.
Again,
all right.
Yeah,
but next year's all his last is guaranteed, right?
Yeah, because we still
guaranteed. That's what I'm saying.
The Dolphins
The more we pay him, the more we're going to be on the hook to pay him.
Yeah, because after every certain amount of time, every new league year and every there's marking points where more of the guaranteed dollars that was a part of the quote unquote total guarantees becomes enacted. You cut them, you will be on the hook for money, but there will be more savings in the end if you cut them now. Now, can we look to alleviate some front-loaded savings of dead cap by trading them? Potentially. I gotta feel like, again, Sam Darnold had close to one of the worst fucking names I've ever seen put on him when leaving an organization. Not only did the Jets do him dirty and treat him like shit, he looked like an idiot, sounded like an idiot, but they dogged him and spat on his name out the building. He had to sit on the sides and get this reformation project kind of year where the Jets took that. I think Tua's more online to that type of scenario than it is us. We're actually going to find a trade partner, bro. That's
I'm curious to see how it plays out, because I think some GM is going to bite and think they could play him.
I just want to I'm sorry, Roberto. I just want to point out that I've argued about Tua in the last 6 months with more non-Dolphin fans than I have Tua ears, by the way.
For Tua?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You're becoming a Tua sexual right before our very eyes. Go ahead, Crypto.
I'm talking no Cap. I'm talking about Tua fans.
Yeah.
That are fans of other teams. That's all I've argued with.
They're 2 ears on other teams.
Oh no, no. Listen. All right, so
that's just
every week
propaganda.
But I've been on a wild tear every weekend with football with my tweets this year. I would say I'm averaging about like fucking 300 to 350,000 tweets over the weekend, like retweets and all, like crazy shit, like viral. 350,000 views of interactions coming into my channel or
look at
my
you,
page.
Cal. Look at you.
I'm just saying. It's because of how I'm doing the content. I've been working at it hard the last couple of years. So fuck you, punk. Anyhow,
we gotta let crypto get in here, bro.
My point is that Color's right that there's so many people that come to defend Tua, and I would say for the first time ever, the last month and a half, it's non-Dolphins fans defending Tua more than Tua sexuals anymore. It's like Ravens fans, fucking Carolina fans, Eagles fans.
I don't see it though. I don't see it.
I know you don't, but I'm saying
I'm not on X.
I have a very large sample size of where there's people coming to defend him, and I'm looking at it, and it is a majority by a landslide of people that are not Dolphin fans defending Tua right now. Now, could you sell him to the Eagles? No. You know what I'm saying? But it is interesting to see that there is still, I mean, listen, as many cucks and fucking Tua sexual dumbasses in this fan base, they got the same portion of it in theirs. And at some points,
I thought the Raiders were set. I thought somebody told me the Raiders were set. You don't think they would take a flyer onto it?
Don't they play in a dome?
Who's the head coach out there?
Let me say this.
Yeah, go ahead, Crypto.
I'll use it in this because I'm the guy that always come out with the analogies. I'll say officially, Tua is a lame duck, and the Miami Dolphins are not reelecting him. You can take that for what it's worth.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you, Crypto.
You mean after this season?
After last night's performance, he's officially a lame duck. Yes.
Well, yeah.
That's
Am I
what
the
I'm
only
saying.
one that thinks that him and McDaniels are going to be here next year, and then they're going to get rid of both of them after that season?
Yes, on circle January 4th, I think. I think that's the first Monday after the season, called Black Monday. So yeah, that will be the greatest day in Dolphin. That would be the greatest day in Dolphin history. So
there's no way that a team wants him. So they're just going to have to cut it. There's no way another team.
It's no longer the Dolphins' problem.
Maybe as a backup, but they're not going to give. They're not going to take on a long
I don't care about Tua's future once he's not a Dolphin, so I don't care who grabs him.
Who's the coach of the Raiders? Who's the coach of the Raiders?
That's what I want to know. Who is the coach of the
Raiders? Right now, it's
Pete Carroll.
Tua
Tua is the perfect quarterback that Pete Carroll likes to work with.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll be a backup there.
Maybe.
That's true.
No,
that is true.
Y'all notice how trash.
Hold on.
Y'all notice how trash Russell Wilson is since all that ended in Seattle.
Also, look what he did.
But he's not going to be able to build a.
Pete Carroll could fucking
around enhances
could do us a real solid on his way out and put a big punctuation if he traded for Tua Tagovailoa.
At least Russell Wilson know how to win big games when the team was around.
That may be true. That may be true, but that doesn't mean Pete Carroll doesn't know that yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's get Pete Carroll twice old and losing it and senile. Let's sell it to Pete Carroll Biden. Fuck it over there. Let's get him to buy.
And I'm going to tell Tua Nears this. If you ever have hope of being right about Tua making us look like fools at the next team, it has to be the Raiders with Pete Carroll, or it's not happening anywhere.
Yeah, he's not going any.
I don't know. I see Tua.
He's heading the Marcus Mariota route. That's his.
You know what's going to happen? Mike McDaniel is going to get fired. We're going to cut to Mike McDaniel's going to get hired on as an offensive assistant at fucking 49ers, and they're going to pick up Tua as a backup quarterback. That's what's going to happen.
Ali, when was the trade deadline? This Tuesday?
Yes, this Tuesday.
This Tuesday.
What if Marcus Mariota goes down? Monday, I think they play Monday night.
Who?
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, what about it?
I think they play Monday night.
Mariota.
They played last Monday night.
More like scary.
Oh, then they play Sunday night. They have a primetime game this week again. Sunday night.
I don't think teams have enough cap space to sign Tua right now, do they?
Is there enough time if Mariota goes down?
No.
Yeah,
You don't think?
I personally think that
Mariota could come
Washington will be
liable
get out of luck without a quarterback if
Mariota got E. coli color. He got it from Tua, pink eye. They got a little thing going on, and Mariota's going down. And Tua's going to take his job. Trade him to where's Mariota playing now?
Oh, they both were eating ass.
He's in Washington. He's backing up Jaden
He's playing
Daniels.
at yeah. Bring him home. Bring him home to fucking DC, where the other fucking assholes are
kind
at.
of back up what
I
you're
was going to
talking
ask
about.
the other question. Raphael saying Jaden Daniels should be back.
Yeah, he's already working
Yeah,
on
he's back
it.
this week.
Okay.
But
Ooh,
real
they dodged
quick,
the bullet.
to back up what you're saying about the Raiders, though, because that's an interesting place for him to go to.
Well, remember, Ali, before you get cooking, remember what I told y'all AI said about who the most likely trade partner would be for the Raiders? I did that like a year
Fuck, I don't
ago.
remember that.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Go ahead, Ali.
So I do kind of agree that would work because with Chip Kelly's offense, because it depends on who their offensive coordinator is and what direction they want to go. With Chip Kelly's offense, it does take advantage of some of the traits that Tua has that he does.
They got Chip Kelly?
Yes, they have Chip Kelly.
Oh, Tua's definitely going to the Raiders. Are you kidding me?
But here's the caveat, though. There's a caveat to this. I think Chip Kelly prefers someone with that cannon of an arm, but with what Tua does everything else with that as well. You know what I mean? And I don't know if he would sign off on.
Yeah, he'll just move him out of the pocket and have him throw bombs like Russell Wilson, dude.
Yeah, just rainbow up balls to the middle of the field and pray.
The only difference is that Russell Wilson, I think, has a stronger arm than Tua. That's the other part of it. Can he throw the bomb?
That may be true. I'm just and again, Cat might be right. That doesn't mean Tua is going to actually be able to execute all this, but they don't know that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, listen, Marcus Mariota, who? Fuck out of here. Go to DC, Tua. Oh, what? You got fucking Pete Carroll.
Didn't Mariota also go to the Raiders for a minute?
Oh, shit. Look, it's a fucking...
You mentioned Mariota originally.
Bring him home. Bring him home. Go ahead, Mr. Polk.
Can I say something kind of crazy?
Oh, please do, Mr. Polk.
Yeah, always.
Oh shit! Color. Hold on, Mr. Polk. I'm so sorry. I know I am
breaking news.
Yeah, kind of. Not really breaking news, but something I forgot that I was in a conversation with my brother-in-law's sister. I guess that's my sister-in-law. I'm not sure what that relation would be to me.
All right, half sister-in-law. Go ahead.
She just moved back from Hawaii, right? And she's lived there for the past 15, 20 years. People from Hawaii go where do you guys think they visit most on a regular basis?
Seattle.
Las Vegas, Nevada, where is the home of the Raiders. It makes complete sense. Send Tua to the Raiders. I almost forgot about that.
Who are the best car dealers, Ali? Next to the Filipinos, who are the best car dealers?
They're all in Vegas, baby. They're all in Vegas.
I'm saying the Polynesian women, they can deal some cars.
TFTG Army, we are starting to push the Tua Tagovailoa trade to the Raiders narrative. It has begun. All of us, we all need to be in on this from now on. That's it. We got to push Tua to Las Vegas.
I think it's like the fourth closest place to Hawaii by airport. You know.
No, closest airport to Hawaii. They got to go through California, bro.
No, I'm saying it's like the fourth closest to Hawaii.
Oh. No, it's the fucking Vegas is the fucking Atlanta of the West Coast. Is what it is. So that's how it goes.
Yep.
Go ahead, Mr. Polk, with your crazy shit, because crazy dolphin out in the building. Everybody has some motherfucking decorum. Goddamn it, let him go, Mr. Polk.
What about this crazy scenario? Him going to the Cleveland Browns.
I'd love to. Fucking please send him there. He deserves it.
You got 2.0. Plus you got Shadur Sanders there. Plus I don't know how many other quarterbacks they have there, but use him as a bridge to help out with what's the guy's name from Oregon that they picked up from Oregon, the quarterback.
Yeah. Dylan Gabriel.
Except Dylan Gabriel taught Tua some shit the other day.
Well,
That's
hold on
right.
now.
That's what I'm
Hold
saying.
on
Who's
now.
gonna be-
Hold on now, Mr.
Who will
Paul.
be backing him up?
I'm picking up what you're putting down because at this point, I have zero faith in the Dolphins organization. The only thing I can hope for is a decent show. I can't ask for wins, right? I just need some entertainment. And I would be up for just trading for Shador and bringing the whole Sanders sideshow to Miami. Why the fuck
Yeah,
not? They're already a
Wait a
fucking
minute. We're
clown show.
talking Browns. Hold on. Raphael coming in. That's my boy, Raphael, breaking the ice. Yeah, baby.
D. Watson.
What do you say?
Oh God.
What does
Number
Raph say?
four.
Sean.
Number 4's coming home.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, let's bring
Yeah.
let's bring
Bring
let's
in D.
trade for
Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
Hey,
Holy
about to
fuck!
get a
Could you
chance to go to a
imagine?
team he always wanted to go to.
Could
He always wanted to come to Miami anyway.
Well,
Could you fucking imagine if
God,
they
this
do
place
that?
would absolutely explode.
Hey,
Cat.
guess what? That's
I
why
love
they
the
fired
idea.
Grier. That's why they fired Grier.
yeah, it's true. I
Because
mean,
Grier didn't want to freaking bring him in. Yep.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of
They
great
back-
massage parlors in South Florida, so I love the idea.
But Steven Ross will fucking put him in a massage fucking building. Who
And
gives a
KP,
shit?
there's so many massage parlors that the paparazzi will never know which one to find them at.
First of all,
Exactly.
ain't nobody getting paparazzi in on a Miami Dolphins quarterback in fucking South Florida. You get the fuck beat out of you. Start messing with our quarterback that we like.
Yeah,
He
we
comes
got
out, starts
rules
winning.
against that
We'll
shit.
beat your ass. You try to take fucking pictures of him doing his thing. I don't give a fuck what he got to do.
I will personally take Deshaun Watson to the office, which is the establishment right across the street from Tootsie's. But
They call it the office, KP, really?
yes, it is.
Oh, I gotta check this place out. That sounds so classy, dude. I'm just saying, bro. Like, really.
also, one thing I do know when we're talking about Cleveland Browns, they are the number one Miami Dolphins trade partner. If you look over the years, we've sent more players to the Browns than anywhere else.
Yeah, 99% of them are wide receivers.
Yeah.
So you can look back and see it's usually wide receivers. And we take like their tight ends. We like to take their tight ends and their guards for some reason.
Yeah, we trade. I want to say this before we get going.
Max
when I
Crosby
get
for
going.
Tua straight up.
I want to say this real quick to give Color his credit, and then I backed him up. I backed him up by saying I wouldn't be surprised. He was the only person in the fan base to say that we will be 2-9 by the break, and we are 2 weeks away from that projection coming true. I'm going to say
2-7.
I'm going to say that right now. This one's in the refrigerator and the jello is jiggling. We will be 2-9 before the break. So congratulations.
Hold up, Crypto. I predicted 4-13 for the season. So as far as I'm concerned, we are right on track.
You're still on track. You're on track.
You're still on track.
And you know what?
So yeah, we are on pace. So congratulations, Color, being ahead of the curve on that. And I said I wouldn't be surprised if it come true.
And I predicted 1, we would lose to the Colts, and 2, that we would win less than 8 games. CB83, have my money ready. I'll send my Venmo soon.
And KP, just to be clear, KP, why I hedged and only gave a before the bye prediction is because I was reserving the space for the possibility that the 8 and 9 people. No, that the 8 and 9 people would be right, and that we might go 8 and 9. But I knew it wouldn't happen till after the bye when we got something right. You know, like
exactly. Once we got some of the virus out of the body,
right? You can still get 8 and 9, but 2 and 9 before the break. Exactly.
I would say, if the Dolphins fire their coach and get an interim head coach, all y'all are going to start losing them bets because they'll rattle off 4 more wins.
You know it. We're going undefeated the rest of the way we get an interim coach.
Another reason,
whatever the interim head coach has left, if he has 5 games, he'll go 3-5. If he has 6 games, he'll go 4-2. Whatever it is, it'll be a winning margin for the interim head coach. Mark my words.
And then that interim head coach will become Dan Campbell's new offensive coordinator.
Wait.
Yep.
Hold on. El Cap, is that it? Are you saying, and maybe this is the reason why we haven't fired McDaniel yet, or we're not going to, because we're putting the fix in to make sure that margin doesn't happen that you're talking about?
I'm saying Mike McDaniel is part of the collective, and he knows what the job is at this point. At this point, it's damage control and keep your fucking job and make sure that, there's a future around here. Whether he's a part of it or not, he's being paid handsomely to do his fucking job right now. He got
the Diddy deal.
Got paid handsome. No, look, he just got a 5-year fucking extension. They fired him. He's getting that money.
Yeah, he took the Diddy deal. Exactly.
Diddy deal? No, he took the I fucking did this. You gonna do that? God damn.
I know,
bro.
I know what you're saying, but the reason I'm saying that is because he took the deal. So that means the team can do whatever they want as long as he plays ball, he gets that money.
Look at if you look, the year after an extension, the coach gets fired at the end of the season. Philbin, Gase, Flores,
Sperano.
Well, Sperano. Well, yes, Sperano did get fired, but he got fired during the season, and now it'll be right on track again if they decide to fire Mike McDaniel. That's why I say I hope Mike McDaniel keeps his job, because it'll be breaking the mold of what has been the collective's playbook. And that's all from right now. I'm only predicting and hoping for things that doesn't look like what I've seen on the cycle. That's it. Keep the GM, keep the fucking coach. One of these many things. Because now we're looking at a scenario where Tua goes to Tennessee and takes them to the fucking AFC Championship game, and we're fucking back at square one. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where we're heading, gentlemen. Not that I think Tua can do it, but
this whole thing for the last 6 years could have been a way to weed out everybody to narrow it down to isolate Mike McDaniel. For all we know, I'm starting to become convinced that Stephen Ross personally likes him. That's his guy. When we talk about why teams move up so far to get a certain quarterback and all that, and we're like, no, they know that guy's not worth the second overall pick, but they know that that's their guy. So you got to do what you got to do to go up there and get him, right?
Color, if Mike McDaniel
could he just be Stephen Ross's fucking guy, bro?
I think this, Color. If Mike McDaniel if we hear Champ Gailey is heading into, he's going to be the GM, which I think is going to happen, and Mike McDaniel's going to keep the job, and they've got a clear vision forward, and they're sitting at the table, the three of them, talking about shit coming in the future. I will believe wholeheartedly Mike McDaniel not only is a part of the future, but that you are right, that it is something different. He is the son Ross never had. He loves him in that manner. This is the guy he's always liked, always wanted, and to his credit, Mike McDaniel has delivered. He does. If you look at him, he's starting to look like him.
So Colin Cowherd just put out that what Miami needs to do next is go hire Lane Kiffin. What are your thoughts?
No.
Yes, that is what he says. Lane Kiffin.
For GM?
Go get Lane Kiffin.
Not for GM,
no.
Not for GM, for coach. And here's the thing. Lane Kiffin is known for having a complex, flying offense.
He can push it together in a short while.
I don't know.
Lane Kiffin.
What success has he really had?
Lane Kiffin also he has a good connection with South Florida, being a coach at, I believe it was at FAU or whatever.
Yeah.
So he has a connection there,
but he's flaky.
He knows college is cooking.
He's flaky. And he'll leave as soon as look. He will take this job so
that man will be caught up in a sex scandal in 6 months.
He will take this job.
I agree with that.
Just so he can get it to the NFL. Just so he'll get another job in the NFL on a better team that's paying more. That's the only reason. That's all.
No one will pay more than.
Look how many teams.
No one will pay more than fucking Stephen Ross. Let that be known.
he'll do what
mad shit.
He'll do what Saban did. He'll lose the first 2 games and then jump into some college team. That's what he'll do.
No,
I was just trying to give the audience why his name is even being thrown out there, and then for them to
Colin Cowherd's saying that because he's a fucking asshole and he wants to watch us spiral further. Fuck Colin Cowherd.
We're not fucking
Colin Cowherd's saying that because he wants us to spiral and watch us fucking burn even further. He's a fucking patriot. Fuck.
Colin Cowherd is a fucking goof. That's why he got kicked off.
He's bad luck.
He's a fucking goof. That's why he only has a radio station anymore, and you can only see him on YouTube because he's a fucking goof.
I can tell you right now, I definitely don't want Lane Kiffin, and I definitely don't want Franklin, the former Penn State coach, either. I don't want him at all. So he can stay away too.
Besides switch teams every fucking 2 seasons.
Yeah, I get you.
He runs his mouth all the way back to when he was at Tennessee going against the Gators and Tim Tebow stopped him out.
Quick question. How many illegitimate kids do you think Lane Kiffin got right now?
Well, supposedly his daughter. Supposedly his daughter, who's dating someone from LSU, came out and said that she begged her dad to stay in Ole Miss because she was sick of moving around. So I bet you he probably has a couple.
He's gonna go to LSU before. No, hell no.
I don't know.
I don't give a fuck.
I think
again. I do want to say this. I've been saying it. Listen, I've been saying this for a while now, and there's a chance coaches are getting fired. One notably Mike Tomlin, Super Bowl head-winning coach. But I just want to point out the statistic. Never has it ever happened where a Super Bowl winning head coach has left a team and went and coached another team as a head coach and won a Super Bowl. There has been a lot of them that went to a Super Bowl and lost and went to a different team and won. A lot of them.
AKA
he lost the second one.
Even fucking Shula.
Yeah, Don Shula did that. Exactly. You're right. I agree.
Okay, but
Sheila lost with the Colts and won with us.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now, I would love to have Mike Tomlin, but at the same time, if we think we're going to be the first franchise to fucking win a Super Bowl like that and have that kind of thing in the record books,
but it's
we ain't that lucky, boys. I understand that, bro, but I don't think by the measurements of working outside of narratives, I'm looking for the next thing. I'm not trying to fucking work it in. I think we should hire a coach that has lost a Super Bowl. That's why watch the Commanders. Watch LA Chargers.
Lost the Super Bowl.
Watch the fucking Chargers, bro, with Harbaugh. Harbaugh lost the Super Bowl.
Hey,
that bitch won't win one.
Hey, what I need to find out, hey, Chris, what I need to find out is that clip from Saturday, bro. I told your ass to clip it, and I want to see that clip.
I don't know what you're talking about, Cap. I don't know what the fuck Cap's talking about.
Yeah.
He's talking about the
I don't know what the fuck Cap's fucking Cap is all out. I don't know what the fuck Cap's talking about. He better fucking go find that clip all on his own and figure out a way to get it out here. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Hey, what was it you told me? What was it you told me? I know everything that's going on down there, bro. This is gonna happen, and how is it gonna happen? What was it you told me Saturday?
He says that. Oh yeah, he said that today.
Yeah,
too.
well, I mean, I just said that earlier. I think you're. Yeah, I just said that a little bit earlier, Cap. I am right. You're right.
No, I'm being sarcastic. You said this shit was not gonna happen whatsoever.
That what wasn't gonna happen?
That Chris Grier was gonna be.
Yeah.
I will say this.
He did.
Chris Grier didn't get fired. Chris Grier laid on the sword. He laid on the sword for the organization.
So we'll give him 50%, Cap, for life.
Don't worry.
We'll give him 50%.
Cap, don't worry. Chris Grier will still be in that building, bro.
Yeah.
He's just sitting at the silent end of the table now.
With this stupid fucking hat on.
No. You won't see or hear from Chris Grier again. He won't be hired as a GM somewhere else. He's not going to be a consultant for another team. You'll see. Chris Grier will fade off in obscurity for the next 5 years, and then you'll see him at some fucking big thing where everyone's meeting up. He'll be
That's
schmucking
not
it up
what
with
you
fucking.
guys said Saturday. You said to me, and you said it with all the confidence in the world, that you knew what was going to happen and that Grier wasn't going anywhere, and that the collective, as a collective unit, can kiss my collective hairy ass.
See, this is the problem with Dolphin fans, and I love Cap, right?
No. This is the problem I have with you. You like to flip it. No. You like that wiggle room shit. I told you Saturday you had that wiggle room to work with.
Shit. They just served you up a piece of propaganda that is making you feel like you have control of this team.
No. Saturday, it was a different tone. Saturday. I want to know where that tone from Saturday was about the collective being untouchable. I want to know where that same energy's at.
I'm pretty sure I was talking about Mike McDaniel, so I don't know exactly what
No.
about.
Let's talk about Chris Grier, the guy you said was not going anywhere.
See, I don't know exactly what fucking Cap is talking about, so he's probably misconstruing my words.
Selective amnesia, my friend.
Cap, you're gonna need to really get the clip, man. You're gonna have to. I can't just
Yeah,
take.
I think I might know who the next GM's gonna be.
Who's that?
Well, I think Color. I even told Chris it's going to be Champ Kelly, and Chris told me Champ Kelly had no play in this.
He's an interim.
That's not what I said, Cap. I said Champ Kelly's part of the collective.
Yeah.
Right
yeah. Let's get that clip from Saturday, guys.
I'm gonna make the early call. This is always subject to change.
Oh, look, there he is.
Early. Dolphins will be hiring John Fox as the next GM.
Let's run it.
Color.
Let's
Look in
run
your
it.
DMs. I sent the guy who's going to be.
Let's run
The assistant GM of the Ravens will be our next GM.
Color.
That's why he had to do it during the Ravens game.
Broncos when they went to the Super Bowl and Mike McDaniel
It's been
was
a
the
while
ball
since I've
boy.
been on the color train, but I'll fucking drive that.
What's the name?
No, I want to know who runs the collective, because I thought the collective was run by Chris Grier. So who really runs the collective?
The owner of the team is the owner of the collective.
If you're calling yourself the collective, because the collective.
Cap for life. It is a collective, and the collective decided that Chris Grier was the first against the wall.
I think it's Tom. Didn't we talk about this on your show talk last week?
All right, Chris, it's time for a poll. We should probably have a poll of like the top 4 names. You know who my guy is?
I don't know.
If the Chargers go far in the playoffs this year, it's going to be assistant GM Chad Alexander. Like I told you guys in the
you remember, KP was there too.
I can hear. What's the
KP?
name? What's that name of the guy that they've been throwing around the last 4 years for GM? Fuck is his name? He does spots on ESPN for NFL Network. Riddick. Yeah, Louis Riddick.
Man, Louis Riddick has no general medical experience. He doesn't have any experience.
Yeah, you know what kills Riddick?
Cap, stop screaming. That's the Twitter name though, KP.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what kills Riddick? The failure of the last guy who came from ESPN, which was the guy who used to do the draft.
Mel Kiper.
Tiny Bum.
No,
Mel Kiper.
It wasn't Kiper. It was another guy that became the GM of the Raiders.
Yeah, what the fuck was that guy's name? That went with Gruden. The fuck was his name?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah,
it's not Mel Kiper, but it was. No, bro, he was a fucking draft analyst, fantasy fucking douchebag.
Mike Mayock.
Mayock. That's right.
Yeah, it was Mike Mayock.
Yes.
That's right.
Look, I guess that head ain't empty. Look at him pulling Mayock's name out.
Real quick.
It's funny how the guy who doesn't know anything that lives in Miami knows everything, huh?
Yeah, well, real quick. Number one, I do think if Miami Dolphins is smart, they are going to start to find a real GM, not somebody that is already part of the collective, to be honest. But number two, please remind me when Holmgren, the former coach of the Packers, left Green Bay, where did he go?
He went to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Did he go to the Eagles?
Or the Vikings?
Or
they were Seattle.
I think
Eagles or KC, I would say.
I thought he was with he was with Seattle first, then went to Green Bay.
He got Sean Alexander, though.
But wherever he went after Green Bay, he eventually became their GM, head of operations, the whole 10 yards. Right?
Well, we need to know. You can't throw names out there and not have any fact checks. Let's have a fact check. Where did he go?
Well, I'm about to find out here in a second. But I
You
think
talking
we
about
need
Michael?
that type of
Michael?
guy to build a foundation before we can really find
like
the
a Bill
guy.
Parcells.
Say that again.
There, like a Bill Parcells.
No, we don't need Parcells.
Holmgren was
I
with
don't
the
know.
Packers.
Again, I'm just saying, Ali, that's another selling point to bullshit.
Ali, Holmgren was with the Packers first, and then went to Seattle.
I thought he went to Seattle. All right, so what's Seattle?
Damn, it's funny how
is when he left.
my memory is good.
Green Bay. Hold on. When he left Green Bay, I believe Seattle eventually won a Super Bowl. If that's where he went,
he lost. That
They
was
never
the one.
won
Like
one.
Cap was saying, he won with the Packers, but lost with the Seahawks.
No, I'm talking about when he was not coach.
They drafted, I think, Sean Alexander.
Yeah. He built He built the culture.
Yeah, he
that
beat the
eventually
Patriots.
won the
Right.
And
Super
that's
Bowl
kind of
out
what
there,
we need. We need a guy to build the culture. Who that is?
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
again, just like
Yeah, it was him in Seattle.
just like Brian Flores, just like Vic Fangio, just like fucking Bill Parcells, the football guys that want to build that type of football culture get thrown out the fucking building or leave on their own recognizance because they don't want to be a part of the collective business plan that is the Dolphins. So when
Jim
you say Mike
Caldwell.
Tomlin, come here and fix the culture is inherent. They'll fix Mike Tomlin is what they'll do, or he'll get up out of here.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing. As fans, all we can do is speculate on who we would want.
The only hope we have, Ali.
All I'm doing is putting out there how I would fix this problem. I understand we're going up against this collective, and there's no way around it. So
There's only one way.
Stop with that collective word. There's no collective.
I would do.
Yeah, there is.
What I would
The
do.
collective just died today. The collective term used to be thrown out the window.
Cap. It's still more pulls and pills in the building, man.
Yeah, again, the seat at the table, it might be vacant, but again, there's a table of all these assholes sitting at. So again, you can interchange the pieces. Well, guess what? All you're getting is the next fucking figurehead fake guy.
I'd rather have another figurehead than have this.
Hold up, Cap. And Cap,
never mind.
This is what the debate is today, though. I think we all hope that the collective is dead today, because I'm hoping that this is a seismic organizational shift akin to when Bill Parcells. The last one in my mind was when Bill Parcells came in here.
If they fired everybody and cut Tua, that would be seismic. If Ross stepped in, fired Grier, fired McDaniel, kicked fucking Garfunkel up out of there, and let Tua go, and this all happens in a short window.
Like me and KP said, you blow it up after the bye week.
But Chris, I think that still may happen in the off season. I'm hoping that it's still going to happen at the end of the season, but we'll see.
Again,
Color, what is that? That mythical Greek monster that they had, where you cut off one head, another one would grow. Hydra, right?
Yeah,
right now,
Hydra.
the collective is a Hydra. So
It
I
is.
don't know how you can get rid of that. I don't know. So people
again, you're not going to get rid of it unless you get rid of the owner, and we can't do that.
Yeah.
Again, there's only one way we can get out of it, gentlemen.
My point of
We
saying
luck
that is
out.
that the
We
collective is
luck
not
out with
dead.
the fucking
No matter what
phenom
people think.
at quarterback. We luck out with the phenom at quarterback that the collective gets lucky in getting, and they can build around that, and profits are made through winning football because they have figured out the codex on how to fucking have a mediocre football team and make money as if you're winning a Super Bowl.
I
That's
agree.
what they've done.
That is the comfort spot. That's 100%. Cap and Ali, I think you guys are accurate and 100% right. I just hope you're wrong from a fan's perspective. I'm hoping you are wrong.
They're wrong.
They want to
I mean, listen, all I know is I made that assessment after the firing of Philbin, and I bought back in on Gase slightly because I suspected that we were seeing it again because I watched it happen before and after Philbin. And then now with Mike McDaniel, it's a certainty of what I've come to observe from this football team. And there's no way out of it because it is a money printing fucking thing. In 3 more years, I don't care who the coach, GM, or quarterback is, everyone in this fan base is going to be fucking buying tickets and getting ready for season 4 because we're back, baby.
Well, Cap,
and I don't know if it's going to be real or not
I got
because I know we're on this hamster wheel.
Nah, it's gonna get better, bro. The hamster wheel just broke today, and the hamster got pretty much, you know.
Again, I'm not here to break
you
your
are right,
delusions.
Capper Life. I hope you are right, but we don't know.
Bro, all I know is that the pattern. Look, all I know is the pattern that we've been living the past 25 years is not the same anymore. Change is coming. Change is coming.
When you say change is coming, and you think it's because of Chris Grier, I look at everything
it's already happened, bro. You said it wasn't going to happen, and it happened. You said Tua was going to get benched. Tua's close to getting benched right now, bro.
I said I look at everything we have, everything we've had, and what went wrong and what went right, and Chris Grier is not to blame.
Chris Grier is the one who picked all the players, Chris. Please tell me you're fucking around, bro. Please tell me you're playing.
I didn't say he wasn't blameless. I said he's not to blame.
He's the one who hired the coaches that he's fired. He's the one who pretty much got and drafted all the personnel. And
Again,
OBJ over Derrick Henry.
I could name
he signed OBJ over Derrick Henry.
Again, I can name 4 fireable offenses for Chris Grier that should have happened. But today, the firing of Chris Grier is not for any of the insert fireable offenses you want to talk about. Today, they fired Chris Grier to appease the fucking fans.
Oh, I thought it was because of Cam Smith or Darren Waller. I thought it was because of that.
You're clapping your hands.
They got a lot more appeasing to do.
And I'm telling you, you're going to let them do it to me again. They got a lot more
appeasing to do.
Bro, you were telling me the complete opposite on Saturday, Chris. What did that say?
It's about appeasement.
And by the way, I stand corrected. Mike Holmgren never won with Seattle. They were just a mediocre team while he was there.
They got a lot more appeasement to do,
Chris
Cap.
Grier is not gone. His name is now Champ Gailey. Okay?
I tried to tell you that. I tried to tell you Champ Gailey was the next guy. You didn't want to listen to me.
Okay. Chris Grier's new name is Champ Gailey. They're the same fucking cog in the wheel, Cap. You could say Chris Grier's gone.
Are they really? Are they really?
In other words, Cap, for like
they're not. No, they're not.
So you're already having a reservation on Champ Kelly as being Chris Grier, and he hasn't even done anything yet.
They brought what?
He's not even permanent, so it's not even matter.
I get that, but for right now, he's our GM, whether you like it or not.
Oh my God! See, when you say whether you like it or not. That's not
what you told me first. You said Grier was here whether I liked it or not. Now you don't like it?
When you say whether you like it or not.
No, you told me Saturday Grier was not going anywhere whether I like it or not. That's the word you use, not me.
And now
he believes
still here. His name is Champ Kelly. His name is Champ Kelly. Chris Grier is still here.
As long as his name's not Chris Grier, that's all I care about.
You're thinking something is changing. And that was the whole point of what's happening now.
It's the start of change.
Shit's changing.
It's the toilet flush that gets the water flowing through the sewage system, and you got to get the water cleaned out. It's the start of the flush.
As long as we know what was clogging the pipes, that's all I care about.
Pipes in the shitty old house, fucking crypto. Still the same shitty pipes in the shitty house.
You're right. You got to start with one pipe at a time. One pipe at a time.
Nene, get up here.
It's called recycling.
See, Dolphins fans think Chris Grier firing is the beginning of healing, and I'm telling you guys, it's the beginning of the new cycle of phase. This moth has just entered its new cocoon, and all y'all are fitting to see it play back again.
So how much more worse can it get?
I want to see it.
You want to see the new moth? We're hoping on a butterfly this time, but we're probably going to get another moth.
Yeah.
If you want to answer how much worse it could get,
we need a motherfucking monarch butterfly.
I'll tell you how much worse it could get. They could actually still believe in Tua, and they could hire a yes man for McDaniel and Tua. and rerun this whole damn thing next year.
No,
fuck yeah, they could.
Better yet, they could go get
Exactly.
him
That's
all.
how worse it can get.
Wait until
That's
this team
exactly
comes
how.
back and beats Buffalo
Well, they
without
face
fucking Chris Grier.
Another marketable quarterback and do the same thing all over again in 7
They're
years.
not beating anybody for the rest of the season.
Wait, I am sure that.
Hey, I'll be back. I'm gonna go harass Lewis. Be back.
Wars, baby.
Oh, I gotta give a special shout out to Nene. Good afternoon, Nene. I know Nene's been waiting for this for a long time.
Yeah, my sister
She's having her day today. I tell you what.
Oh yeah, Aloysius is gone.
Yes.
Yeah, she's
This is the way I felt when Devontae
she's
Parker
been
was thrown
preaching
out
it.
the building.
And listen, Nene, I'm happy you get your flowers, Nene, because I know and every point in which way you don't like Chris Grier, I agree with. And it's all fireable offenses. I will still stand on the fact that Chris Grier didn't lose that game last night. There's nothing. Chris Grier hasn't lost any of the games this season.
He
And
assembled a roster that lost that game. That's all he did.
again, they straight up came into this season and said it out of his own mouth. Out of his own mouth.
Yep.
That
Listen.
we're taking a soft reset to the cap and not
Which
doing the
one
spending
comes
in the
first, the chicken or
offseason.
the egg? Which one comes first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah, but Crypto, you got to get rid of the chicken and the egg and start eating beef. That's where we're at.
There it is, right there. There it is.
That's
Meanwhile,
true.
I'm on vacation on his yacht, by the way.
There he is. That's
There
him
he
right
is.
there. That's it. That's what he's doing every Monday. That's
Remember
what
how
Hit the
you used
like
to
button,
golf?
everybody. Make sure you guys are getting those
Golf
likes
all the
up.
time. Now it's on the boat every time. That's what
every
he's doing.
fucking Monday.
Who y'all talking about?
Every Monday.
Every Monday
Again,
he's out there.
hope-
Boom,
look,
shaking it up, baby.
I said earlier, guys.
$50 million,
I only
$212 million
operate-
right here, baby.
I heard Tua was out on the water before the game. Actually, I heard that through a friend.
Nene, this is where
I
Grier
said,
got
I
hired.
said earlier, guys, that I only operate in predictiveness of my team from what I know to the organization. I hope that Chris Grier's firing is the beginning of an absolute cleanse. Because I've always said all off season, from Garfinkel to the Gardner, I want them all gone. I want new grass in the facility. I want new paint in the walls. I want new carpet. We need a remodel. Everything. I want everything new.
I
and I want it
want shag
staged.
carpet. I want shag carpet. I want the shag
No,
carpet.
you know what I want? I want old fucking slightly wet concrete is what I want. I want that place to be a fucking dungeon. There's no colors. I don't want nothing in it. Okay? Nothing. No fucking elevator. Elevator, elevator. Take the fucking stairs. You're a fucking athlete. Oh, you can't get in the elevator. You got an
Spiral
injury.
staircase.
Then stay your bitch ass down here. Again,
Hey,
that's what I
I need a
want.
spiral staircase.
But I know how the collective operates. Welcome up here, Nene. Take your flowers and your victory lap.
Well, I gotta I'm on
Nene.
page 15 of 30, but I can't lie, I've been
Oh,
typing
halfway
and
through.
You gotta
smiling.
do double space.
Merry Christmas, Nene.
Listen, I thought it was a dream. I ran outside. I started screaming.
Christmas came early, Nene. Christmas came early.
But I want to say this because
I know.
It's snowing in
The
Miami.
day after Thanksgiving sale, a month early.
And I don't know if you know, in North Carolina we're starting to get kind of like the winter feel. So it's I'm about to go and get my Christmas tree. That's how happy I am. But no, in all seriousness, I want to say thank you to the platform because the trademark phrase Christopher Aloysius Grier III was on this channel.
You get the trademark, Nene. You get the trademark.
Remember,
Dia de los
I'll never
Muertos.
forget. It was funny
There
as
you
hell.
go.
Yeah, but I'm with I just want a couple of minutes and I'm gonna get off because I do got to get back to the paper. But I do want to say I agree with Cap's premise of let's see what happens next, right? Because I just read up something that they are reluctant to making some decisions based on the head coach because their fear is they're gonna want to get rid of Tua. And so this is why when I talked to Lewis and some of the other people that have this idea that Ross wants better, I'm like, today should give you more evidence because if he wants to get rid of Tua, I mean, I know the money is different from what his personal earnings are versus what the team has cap allotted. He can get rid of him, right? And I think Chris Grier was an easy scapegoat. But my problem with Chris Grier was this, right? And I said this to Lou and Tony because Tony. Lou is basically a Grier-neer. Y'all can call him a Grier-neer. That came from me.
He is.
I said, but and
He
I
is
don't
100%. Sorry about that, Nene.
but the reason I think he's supportive of him because and I know Lewis rubs some people the wrong way, but he does get information, right? And he probably knows a little bit more about Grier being wrongly accused of things he's not doing. Here's my problem with Grier. Your integrity is who you are. And I know some people like, Nene, I would never give up a job, but I'm not gonna be the one every year laying on the sword if I'm making these decisions, right? And Grier, when he say the infamous words, y'all more worried about this, that attitude, I cannot have empathy for a person that behaves like that, right? Even if he's being outweighed from other people. And like I told Lewis them, I said, well, what is it about Grier that everybody keeps overriding his decisions? For me, if I'm Grier, I'm not going to be in a job where you won't let me do my job. So I said he still holds some responsibility. Now, I'm not going to be wrong and say, seeing Stephen Ross, it looks like that's the son-in-law. I guess that young fella that they showed, that's the son-in-law that's being rumored to take over the organization once Stephen Ross. It's kind of sad they're not going to give it to the daughter, but they're going to give it to her husband. You could change faces, but will the product change? And for me, the little bit of people that are Grier-neers, we're going to have another war in the community, LCAP, because whoever's new, whenever we don't succeed fast, they can be like, oh, see, Grier wasn't the problem, blah, 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 blah. So, but I just think we need to see what they do next, right? I do believe I like Mike McDaniel as a person, but I think his time in Miami should conclude along with Tua. I think you need to bring a whole new thing here and start fresh because it's just a lot of chaos. And I can't lie, watching that game yesterday and hearing them speak about 52 years of not winning a Super Bowl, that to me, if Ross made the decision today based on that, I stand with him. But don't move Grier and then bring somebody else to where you're gonna want to make Tua stay here. You're gonna want to make players that we know need to go. You're gonna outweigh them because now that person can't do their job. But with that, thank y'all for letting me ride the plane all over the place. But I wanted to thank you personally, El Cap, and Crypto, some of the people I met earlier in my time. All of those people that call me stupid, she don't know what she's talking about. I don't even see them on social media, but I got my list. I got EM off this morning. Next is Batman. I got like 10 more people that I need to say, aha, I told you they were going to find
Nene, quick question. Before you go, Nene, quick question. Listen, how about this scenario? What if at the end of the season, because of everything that's happened, just as you explained, McDaniels is told he has to go, but is offered to return as offensive coordinator. Number one, does he have enough ego to listen to the wisdom in that and accept that delegation? That delegation, or do you think that's I'm shooting pipe dreams in that scenario? I think he's emotionally intelligent enough to accept something like that, and I know I'm in the minority with that.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, Nene, did you have an answer to that?
Boys, I don't think Nene heard you. I think she might be gone. I think she probably had a phone call. That's why she was kind of rushed there at the end. I would say I gotta go too, but I'll be listening, guys. I would say this to that question. It's just so outside the norm. It would be something that's never happened, at least to my memory, and. Not that I wouldn't like it to happen. I don't see that happening, bro.
I mean, they did it in Denver with Vance Joseph at DC.
That's right.
He's still there at DC.
He only became the interim head coach, I thought, though.
No, he had it full time.
He hired him.
Well, he had a couple of years.
He had a full time.
He was there a couple of years.
Hey, what's up, Craig?
Well then,
Hey, guys.
touche. What's up?
Happy as can be right now. Part 1 is accomplished. Now we need to get part 2 and part 3 out of here by the end of the year.
And
I would say there's part 4 and 5.
What's part 4 and 5, El Cap?
I would say Garfunkel need to get the fuck up out of there too.
Okay.
And 5 is we got to run the rest of these hoes up out of the fan base.
Yeah. You're right. But I'm just thinking small right now. I'm sorry.
Nah, you're good, Craig.
But no, I'm happy. I mean, I didn't even know it was happening. I was busy doing something, and my sister called me and said, "Hey, did you hear about Chris Grier?" And I was like, "No, what happened?" They said they fired him this morning. They're saying parted ways. That's a crock of shit. They fired him.
He fell on the sword, Craig.
Yep.
He did what the collective does when they're paid handsomely.
There's no sword to fall on.
Listen,
it's a real dull knife.
And Chris Grier will carry the water for the Miami Dolphins for years to come as part of the collective, just like Teron Armstead is doing right now with his podcast, which the set, they might as well call it the Dolphins set. And also, just like Mike Tannenbaum did on fucking Sports Center, wherever the fuck table he was sitting around spouting off dumbass shit for the Dolphins. You saw when it changed, though, right? In his first couple of years, he was talking sweet on the Dolphins every fucking chance he got. Then it changed on it, and then he became like a contrarian against the Dolphins. Again, this is... I just can't help but look at the team for what I know it to how to operate in the business of football. And I see its workings and movings on everything. It's fucking... It's a pain in the ass. I don't care who the GM is. I don't care who the fucking coach is. I don't care if we're a run team, defensive team, whatever. The only hope this organization has been the same only hope we've had for years. And that's we get lucky enough to fucking land a phenom at the quarterback position. And this organization has the fucking coachings. Then you can start worrying about what coach can fucking work with this superior talent. What GM can get the fucking talent on the football team with what coach. Because I'll tell you what, Chris Grier got the talent that gave Mike McDaniel the fucking the groceries to make the meal that made Tua Tagovailoa, who ain't shit, look good on a Dolphins organization that sucks and can't get their shit right for fucking 30 years. So,
you're right.
To me, the only hope we'll have for Super Bowl is that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You all got Zach Wilson going with him.
All right, let's roll in Zachariah Wilson.
Hey, I was going to say congratulations on firing. Unfortunately, the first step's done. I'll be at the Bills-Dolphins game this weekend, so I'll get to watch.
You'll be there with a bunch of other Buffalo fans. The Dolphins are showing up.
See how many Buffalo
so
fans
enjoy your peoples. It'll be a full fucking takeover this week because ticket sales will be cheap.
It'll be cheap. Because we got the tickets back in May. I'm like, crap, they would have been so much cheaper now.
Yep, you fucked up.
Hey, you all are some of the good Dolphins fans I know.
Tickets. The only thing you do now is buy more tickets and offset your losses with your ticket price. Sell them to some of your friends. Bring everybody.
Yeah, but you all are some of the good Dolphins fans. You all deserve a great team.
Wait a minute.
Unfortunately,
Matt.
Wait a minute,
Matt. Wait a minute. You know what that means? You know what you basically just admitted to, right?
What?
You basically just admitted to betting that the Dolphins, your own money, that the Dolphins would be a decent team this year.
That's not a bad idea.
I live in South Florida, so I mean, I'm not going all over Buffalo.
Here's the thing. If you honestly thought we were trash, you would have known the tickets were going to be cheaper now. You thought the tickets were going to be more expensive than they were offering you at the time.
Yeah, so inherently he thought that it was going to be better.
You know, you just got to be a football fan sometimes.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I'm enjoying my Bills tailgates. I'm enjoying seeing a whole bunch of Dolphin fans with paperbacks on their
You need to
head,
you
and
need to live
hopefully we can
stream
get
it.
an
You
easy
need to
win.
live stream it for Mikey K.
It's Halloween. I'm going to be putting my paper bag on already. It's Halloween. What you
You're gonna
expect?
have plenty, and you're gonna have plenty of space to set up the diving board for the tables.
I'm gonna
Oh
get a paper
yeah, I'm
bag.
for sure jumping through a table. This is my first ever Bills game, like
I'm gonna
in
get
general.
I'm gonna get one of those insulated paper bags now they have nowadays because it's cold up here.
With air conditioning, you know, the ones
No, because it's
they
cold
actually
up here
sell
to
them
keep me
now. Yeah.
warm.
Hey, I gotta go. Y'all have a good
Matthew,
one.
well, Matthew, if you end up jumping through a table, man, make sure you live stream it and come to the
Yeah,
tailgate and show
yeah,
it, bro.
definitely live stream that.
Are you all going to the game or
No, but we'll probably be doing, we'll be doing a
doing
show.
normal stream? Normal stream, yeah, type.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will be
Ali,
Yeah,
there.
y'all have a
I
good
will be
one.
there in spirit.
No, Dolphin
Hopefully
fans
you keep
jump through
Mike McDaniel
tables
for the next
at their
100
houses.
years.
They don't.
Y'all have a good
All
one.
right, have fun next week.
So, yeah, well, like I said, to me, part one is
What
done.
day?
Okay,
So
what,
now
what you think
let's.
is part two, Craig?
I honestly think, okay, I think McDaniel is gone, and I think that Nene's favorite person is gone. I think his head is on the chopping block.
You
I
think he's
think.
gonna before
I'm sorry.
Tua?
Go ahead.
You think he's gonna? Who do you think will be cut first, Tua or head coach?
I think the head coach. And then you'll decide, you know what I mean? Whoever you get in is the GM.
I mean,
yeah.
Even if it's the head coach, even if it's the head coach first, Tua's only going to keep shit in the bed. So he's eventually just going to be gone. It's only a matter of time because the coach can't go out there. The coach is not responsible for him throwing the ball to the ground, not being able to see over the offensive lines, like all this other shit. It's just like how they made it possible for Tua to win. Look how much it took, and look how long it lasted. It didn't last long, and it took a lot. It took a lot, and it didn't last long. So head coaches aren't going to be able to keep winning. They're not going to be able to win with Tua because he can't see over the offensive line. So it's a matter like hopefully they don't resign him. Hopefully they don't fucking resign him. They ride this wave till it's as cheap as fuck, cut his ass, and then move forward with who we got. And then a head coach. That's when a head coach will actually make a difference. When he's finally gone, because it's.
Do you have any in mind who you'd like as the next GM?
Fucking what's his name? The guy that's I think he's already on the team.
Oh, you talking about Champ Kelly?
Yeah, Champ Kelly.
I know nothing about him.
But I don't know how much is he already part of the collective in the cabal? How much is it really going to make like now that like?
How about Ray Kroc? How about Ray Kroc, the guy that founded McDonald's?
I was just going to say, isn't he like the founder? What word? Isn't he dead? He's still alive.
Probably, but there's probably a Ray Kroc the third.
Champ Kelly. Champ Kelly.
I saw a list today.
He's what position is he on our?
Wasn't he the assistant GM?
Let me go back and look.
He's interim GM. Oh, he's interim GM.
Yeah.
Well, so that means is he going to be the GM right now while Grier's gone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
he'll be the interim, but that doesn't mean he'll be full time.
Right. So it's and I was rooting for him like a few weeks ago or maybe a month ago. I was rooting for him, but like how much of him is going to bring the same fucking cabal that we have now? Like, is he gonna change the culture? Like, we need a culture change. We really do. We got players that don't put in all the effort. Like the turnovers that we had last night, the ball being stripped away. The ball should be able to be stripped away. That shit that you get, that's the shit that you learn in college and high school is how not to get the ball stripped from you. So that's just giving up. That's just giving up. It's culture. It's throwing the ball to the ground. It's throwing the ball to the ground and getting fucking intentional grounding, and then the same season we have negative 10 yards on the whole game. Like it's they're not out there putting in, and that's why last night I forgot what player it was that made the diving catch. I forgot what wide receiver that was.
Hey,
We threw to him.
I stopped watching it
We threw
after
to
it
him a
got to
lot
be.
last night. There was one wide receiver that made a lot of catches last night. And he was
it
diving for
Eskridge?
the ball. He was diving for the.
Was
Let
it
me see.
D. Eskridge, maybe?
No, hold on.
No, I wasn't Eskridge. And it wasn't one that Washington.
Hold on. So let's go to the stats from last night. Let's go to the stats from last night. It might have been Westbrook Akine, but he was the one that got the ball stripped. So he's got.
That was Taj Washington.
Yeah, that's Washington.
Oh, okay. Well, there was one player last night that was making a lot of good catches, and I was like, "That's what we need." He's still out there putting in his all, regardless of how shitty the team is. Like that's the culture we need to bring.
Yeah.
Nightwolf 3186.
Thanks for the
what's
donation.
up, buddy? Thanks for the $5 donation. He's asking, have we entertained the thought of bringing in an ex-football guy like a John Lynch for GM? Who would for that? I doubt Zach Thomas or Jason Taylor would do that. Would do it.
Well, Champ Kelly's an ex-football guy. He was he played.
Didn't he play Georgia?
Cornerback.
Didn't he play at Georgia? Or am I thinking of a different Daly?
You might be. You might be talking about Chip. It's a Chip Kelly also now. That's
he's
whoever
coach.
Whoever the new GM that comes in, I'm assuming he's got to bring somebody in. Whoever the new GM is and the new coach, don't say, "Oh yeah, we'll do this for you and that." You tell Ross, "This is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna make a winner."
Is that possible though? Is that really a thing that can be achieved with that owner? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, he always says he wants to win a Super Bowl. You always hear him say, "I want to win a Super Bowl."
I mean,
yeah. No. I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying this: he's got to stop having yes men. Yes, Mr. Ross. No, Mr. Ross. You need to get guys in there that'll tell you this is how it's going to be.
Yeah.
This is what we can do. But let us coach. You know what I'm saying?
But the owner has to convey that. The owner has to say, "Look, if we're disagreeing, you need to stand up for yourself and stand up for what you believe in. Don't just like it."
Yep.
Is that really how a cabal works, though?
I have no idea. Who knows? But that's what we ultimately have to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, so am I. Trust me, so am I. That's why I was for Champ Kelly, because he was a former player. And I'm Jason Taylor. I would give Jason Taylor. I would give him a shot. I would give him a shot. I wouldn't have it. I have no issue with giving a former player that was a successful player, that was a good player, a chance to be a GM. I would never. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat, I'd give him a chance. Like, why not? At this point, why not? Like, we obviously a marketing guy doesn't work. We need football guys that want to be on the sideline and fucking and engage with the team, not wear a fucking goofy ass hat and a fucking no tie fucking jumpsuit. Like, get out of here.
Well, Tunk, we got somebody right here in the building that sometimes we keep overlooking, but I don't know if he'll do it. That's Marino.
No.
But Marino has been from what I understand, he's been favorable of Tua.
Yeah, he wants Tua. Yeah.
That's the problem. Because the reason why I brought it up is because when we got Marino as our quarterback, he was I'm not gonna lie to me. He didn't go to a Super Bowl, but the man was commander on the field, and he will go.
I thought Marino did play in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he did play. He played in one Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
no, that's okay.
He was.
But the point
is that he was the commander on the field.
You have to go. You have to go outside this organization, and you have to go with somebody nothing to do with the organization.
Exactly.
That's
that's
you know what I'm saying. You got to go outside the organization.
I have no issue with that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm downing Champ Kelly, because he's already part of the cabal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Chris Schuler?
Well,
Anybody know? I know that's Don Schuler's son, but does he have a good
it's his
resume?
grandson.
I mean,
No, no.
No.
You don't want to put that kind of pressure on the
no, we
guy.
can't grandfather in a fucking GM.
No.
No, look how that worked with Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
His grandpa went to fucking NC too.
Yeah.
We just need we need people that know football. That's
football.
What we need. We need former players.
I'm so tired
players
of
I mean players that want to set a culture, okay?
Yeah.
Or GMs that want to set a culture, that want to make the team want to play for each other, that want to make the players want to play for each other and play for the QB and all that shit.
And obviously you can't get him from, say, a Philly or a Kansas City, but maybe like the assistant GM. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the Eagles aren't going to get rid of Howie, that guy.
I mean, I'm willing to run with it now with Champ Kelly. He is a former football guy, so let's just see how it goes. But we'll still be in search of it. If this is, it's.
Yeah. I mean, my opinion is this: he didn't fire Grier, and he's not going to fire McDaniel unless he has people in mind.
I used to have. I did at one point have confidence in Tua. But just this season, after the things he said, I've lost all confidence for him. I've lost it completely. Just how he's careless. He's careless about what he says. So it shows that he doesn't give a shit. Because if you don't give a fuck what you say to people, then you really don't give a fuck. If some of the things that he said, and when you don't give a fuck that much, your production is going to show it. It's going to show it. It's going to show it because you really don't give. I've had that situation happen in my career, and it's why I left the company I was working for, because I didn't want to work for them anymore. I didn't want to talk to them. I didn't want to do a multitude of things. And once I became that way at my age and what I do, it's like I couldn't keep going at this. Like it wasn't working. But Tua's sticking it out because he's making so much money, but he's not enjoying it, and he's showing it, and he's not good at it.
Yeah.
Forgot where I was going with that, but it's toxic. It's super fucking toxic.
And it's toxic in the locker room. And then he goes, well, guys aren't showing up for team meetings. Oh, this wide receiver ran a wrong route.
That's on the fucking GM and the head coach.
Maybe who wasn't showing up was Chris Grier to the team meeting. Maybe that's why Chris Grier got fired.
But he should be responsible for that anyways. The QB is the captain, but he's not the fucking he's not the head coach. He's the captain.
And he's not the voice of the team. The voice should be
And if you're doing player only meetings and it's not working, then you should not be the captain. You shouldn't. You shouldn't have that C on your chest. You just have that C because you're the starting QB. There's a difference between being a captain and a starting QB. There's a fucking difference. There's a difference. It's this fucking it's bullshit. Honestly, it pisses me off that he's able to just behave this way. Like that he's this careless, that we see photos of him on a yacht instead of photos of him working out and trying to get better and not be so scared to take hits. We don't see him trying to figure out a way to protect his blind side but like they've lost linemen and offensive line that can protect him that way.
Yeah.
We can't find they don't exist. They don't exist because we have a quarterback that shouldn't be fucking playing. It's like it's bullshit.
Well, big day for the Dolphins. They say official statements being released that Mike McDaniel is safe, like Color said, through the end of the season and potentially beyond. Thus far, that could change. Again, I've been saying it all year. The only way in which Mike McDaniel gets fired is if he he has a mutiny on his hands. Now,
Yeah.
I
look,
think he does have a mutiny on his hands.
that may be so. I mean,
I don't
listen,
know.
that may be so. You start once you let look. Trade deadline is Tuesday.
Yeah.
Chris Grier and the Miami Dolphins, up until this point, and now nobody's talking about this, so I'm gonna bring it up now. Color might have the bookmarks I sent to him, but the Dolphins reportedly all trade talks, and there's been plenty of trades this trade deadline, plenty of them. That the Dolphins were receiving calls, and that they don't plan to trade anyone, and that they don't have any plans to do anything with the season. Well, lo and behold, we're less than we're less than a week away from the trade deadline, and we fire our general manager. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
That could mean one of two things. But what it'll probably mean is that this team is going to trade some of these guys, right? And the
my
names
God.
that are being thrown around is Bradley Chubb, Matthew Judon, Jalen Phillips, Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane, and Patrick Paul are all names I know that have been confirmed, that have been called about. They won't trade Patrick Paul. And from what I understand, they're not interested in trading either Achane or Waddle. But those three pass rushers they're willing to trade,
especially
those three pass
Jalen
rushers,
Phillips. Especially Jalen Phillips.
So with that, is this firing in direct effect of that too? Because here's some trade offers that we turned down. The collective is aware. Chris Grier's like, no, not trading it. We're gonna get the turnaround. We're gonna see where we'll be at. We win this, and we're halfway to 500, but that's not what happened. They lose in embarrassing fashion, and now their back is put up against the trade deadline, and they've kept these players around another week for no reason when they could have cashed in on them after the Browns game. So it cost them business moves, and that ultimately could be where Chris Grier had lost favor with inside the collective. And right away, if this new general manager starts selling these guys off, he'll gain favor inside the collective, trying to make himself home a part of the team.
Yeah. But I heard something interesting. Somebody said, I don't know who it was, said that the son-in-law gets the team when Ross is done.
So that was Nene that said that. I want to correct Nene, and I've been hearing people say this about the son-in-law Spielman, Dan Spielman. The remaining shares of the Miami Dolphins, which are in the high 80s of shares of the Dolphins, because Stephen Ross has sold off 15% and then other subsidiary amounts of shares. One of the companies that has purchased some of the shares is a company he owns as well through his marketing division. So it comes to the grand total of they own like 80+% of the company, a big majority control. His shares of interest of the company, along with all of his assets, are becoming divided up between his two daughters. Okay. His one daughter, who pretty much runs his entire real estate empire, is mainly tied up in the Northeast, up in Michigan. That guy is buying up so much of Michigan right now. I know he's bought up so much of South Florida, and I'm sure she's around for that. But that guy's gonna own the state of Michigan. It seems like he owns so much of fucking Michigan's real estate and the big metropolitan areas. It pales in comparison to what he owns in South Florida right now, and that includes what he just bought in West Palm Beach. All the land he just bought in West Palm Beach. But his two daughters are gonna get the controlling interest, and the one daughter's husband is a kind of a sense of a sports manager type guy. He's more in marketing and this stuff, but he's purviews with soccer and stuff. So he's the son-in-law. and he's going to take his part of the collective, and he's going to learn the family fucking business, and he's going to be a good little bitch boy and do as he's told and make billions of money. And that's what it is. People say, oh, he's going to come in and take over the team. I mean, maybe, right? Maybe the guy can, win favor, and when the old man kicks the bucket and the girls take no interest in the football team, he can swing big dick around and he really wants to win. Maybe that could happen. But I don't know. Fucking, or he gets part of the fucking machine, and it's written up that he's this guy at the seat of the board of the Miami Dolphins, and his say-so only amounts to this amongst the presidential board that decides everything with this fucking team. That's the problem, boys. We're not fucking talking about football things to happen. We're talking about acts of Congress to happen in this fucking franchise, dude. It's all a fucking facade.
Do you think maybe the daughters will say we're not interested and sell the team?
God, I hope so. God, I hope so. It would fetch them 10+ million today, and that includes how shitty the team looks. It would fetch them 10+ billion today.
Yeah. Because I was always amazed why he didn't sell the team. He was offered $10 billion. But wasn't it some
So real quick, another thing, and this is funny because I hear people say this, right? That's like the 4th time that someone's offered to buy the Dolphins from Stephen Ross, and it's always on the uptick, right? Or right before an uptick, right? And they always want to overpay, and he never sells. That's an old real estate tactic to and billionaires do this all the time. It's just like when you estimate your assets as a rich person, you're estimating them. You call in and you write off the insurance and pay the taxes on this shit. And real estate people, they'll do it cheap until they want to make a bunch of money on it. And all of a sudden it's worth a fucking hell of a lot, because then they're going to try to put it on the market to sell. And that's what they do. Someone offers to buy the Dolphins for $10 billion. Well, that's because the Dolphins are worth $10 billion now that I'm trying to sell 10% of it. That's what they do, bro. It's just like with art. Art is worthless, but whatever someone will pay for it is what it's worth.
Yeah.
That's how everything is. Everything, dude. It's all assets. It's all garbage, trash.
Well, I hope somebody figures this out soon. I mean, hey, if we can get a GM in here, a coach that knows what the hell they're doing, I'd be all for it. And you guys have heard me say names, and people have said, no, I don't want him. So I'm like, okay, well, who do you want? So, I mean, I've said McCarthy. Hell, I've even said Rex Ryan. I know he's not the best, but I think he'd get these guys in line. I don't know. Does anybody
I would
have
say
this?
this, Craig. It's kind of like my take. Trade Tua to the Browns and get Shador Sanders here. At this point, just entertain me.
Yeah.
At this point, just entertain me. And one thing Dolphins are good at is putting together an entertaining sideshow. So at least give me something fun to watch,
Yeah, I'm with you.
Expectations are out the fucking window with this team. If I had expectations of winning the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be a fucking Dolphins fan. That's for sure. If I wanted to win the Super Bowl, I'd start rooting for a fucking team that, like the fucking Eagles or the fucking Chiefs or, the fucking Ravens or some shit.
Yeah.
That's the deal. That's the deal.
Yeah.
All right, boys, I'm getting ready to pull up here at the house. I appreciate Color holding it down for me. I appreciate everybody coming through. We had some breaking news, some shit to talk. Look for maybe a Saturday night exhale if we're lucky. Maybe Ali will do that. If not, then maybe I'll fucking pull up and do a fucking Saturday night show or something like that. Happy Halloween, everyone. Didn't know it was fucking. We were literally going to live in the House of Horrors in Dade County, the Miami Gardens House of Horrors. But that's what sucks. I appreciate everybody coming through. Appreciate everybody on the panel. Hit the like button, everyone. Fins up. We'll see y'all next time.